to the Tough Sheet Community Stadium and join Cameron Pope and Adrian Clark. And Adrian, we mentioned, all of the pressure, every storyline and subplot going on with Bolton at the moment feels like it's black and white. There doesn't seem to be a grey area for the team at the moment. Does that add pressure on even these early games for them?
Of course it does, yeah. I think Ian Evatt will put himself under pressure because in the biggest game of last season, he got out-coached by Des Buckingham. So he knows that he needs to be better. He knows the team needs to be a little bit more steely, a little bit more robust this time around. So yeah, look, the expectations are high, and rightly so, at Bolton Wanderers. They've got a squad that's capable of getting promoted, but League One is hard. It's a hard league to get out of. There are a lot of teams in the division this season that will really fancy their chances, of course, including today's opponents, Wrexham. So there's a bit of pressure on both teams, I'd say.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I know Wrexham have had that big investment. Of course, not only do they have their fans and the big pressure that comes with the football club because it means so much to the heart of the community, but as we know, they have now picked up fans all over the world, thanks to the TV show, thanks to the celebrity that comes with their ownership group as well. I think for us who cover the EFL all the time, and those of us that love English football would say, well, we can't just expect Wrexham to be flying up the leagues. That just doesn't happen. Maybe it does in Hollywood stories. I don't know. I personally don't feel like, even though there's great talent and great experience in that Wrexham team, that we can say that they should be going for promotion this year. They have to build organically like any football club. Yeah, okay, the investment might not be organic. However, the football does need to evolve organically on the training pitch. You've been there, you know that. Would it be fair? Is it really fair for us to put that level of pressure on them?
No, I don't expect Wrexham to get promoted this season. I just don't. With the squad that they've got, I think if they can get into the playoffs, they would have done very, very well indeed. And even if they don't make it via the playoffs, there wouldn't be any shame in that. There would still be a season of progression, in my opinion. Can they fly up the leagues? Yeah, they can. Look at Eddie Howe and Bournemouth. Look where they were and look where they ended up. Look at Luton Town, National League, went all the way through. Nathan Jones, and then latterly Rob Edwards saw the job through. So it is absolutely possible for Wrexham to be a Premier League club within the next 5 years. But let's look at it over 5 years, not expect it to be done in 2.
Yeah, okay, all right. I mean, I just want a little bit of a roller coaster ride for the TV series. It's too predictable otherwise, so you lose viewers. Just quickly, as the players begin to come out onto the pitch, tell me about this game itself and the litmus test for Wrexham about where they are, and for Bolton Wanderers too, about wanting to maybe exert a little bit of dominance and arrogance over the rest of the league.
Yeah, I think it's a really good pointer today of where Wrexham are. We saw them beat Wycombe last weekend, but most people would have expected that. If they can come here with a full house, or almost a full house, and outperform Bolton Wanderers, that would represent a real step forward and give them such an injection of confidence. And for Bolton, they want to test themselves against these big upstarts from North Wales. Have Bolton got the squad to go again this season? We'll find out a bit more, I think, come final whistle here this afternoon.
Absolutely fantastic afternoon ahead of us. A packed house at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. A reminder of the brilliance of the English Football League pyramid. The biggest attendance they've had since leaving the Premier League for a massive fixture in which they want to remind everyone that they should be higher up the league against a side that wants to be higher up the league, to show everyone what a great club Wrexham are. What else would you want on a Sunday afternoon but great League One action in the company of Talksport 2? I'll leave you with our commentary team, the former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clark and Cameron Pope.
Well, a look at the odds will tell you that Bolton Wanderers are among the bookmakers' favourites for League One promotion. This afternoon they face an international favourite. Wrexham's brand keeps on growing. Another North American pre-season tour, friendlies against big opponents, Hollywood film cameos, red carpet appearances. But the burning question is whether they too can throw themselves into the mix with the big boys for promotion. This one may give us an inkling of where they're at on the field. For Bolton, Ian Evatt makes 2 changes from the side that began the season at Leyton Orient on Saturday. away. George Johnston comes into midfield, and new signing John McAtee into the attack. Scott Arfield drops to the bench, and Jack Iredale is out of the squad. So the team in a 3-4-2-1 formation. Nathan Baxter, the goalkeeper. Centre-halves Owen Toll, Ricardo Santos, the captain, and George Johnston. Wing-backs Josh Dacus-Cogley and Sabi Shern, the new signing from the Hungarian leagues. In defensive midfield, George Thomason and Josh Sheehan. Attacking midfield is McAtee and Collins, surrounding Dion Charles leading the line. As for, we've got for the subs as well, actually, while we're here, because Victor Ademoyejo, the super sub on match day 1, is on there again, along with Jordi Tutu, Aaron Morley, Chris Farino, Carl Dempsey back from injury, Sunderland loanee Jay Matete, and Scott Arfield. The teams are gearing towards the centre of the pitch, but we're going to break off for a moment because we've got a live commentary coming up for you on Talksport 2 in just a moment. First, though, it is Bolton's first home league game of the season, and the Tushie Community Stadium is going to pay respects to 2 club figures that they lost over the summer. So the players have come to the centre circle now in the sunshine that's just broken through the clouds in Greater Manchester. We're going to be honouring former Bolton defender Tommy Banks, part of the 1958 FA Cup winning squad, who passed away in June at the age of 94, and local hero Roy Greaves, himself a midfielder in the legendary team of the 70s, over 500 games for the club, who left us this week aged 77.
And Roy Greaves, who played more appearances than any other IPL player in our Whites history. We play on his backs to 2 men, but between them played over 1,000 games for our club.
Well, you can tell the reverence with which Roy Greaves and Tommy Banks are held around these parts. The fans around the tough sheet, 25,000 expected today. Well, they started clapping before the referee had even announced the minute's silence. On we go then, kick off a minute or so away. We're slightly behind time. Wrexham's team news is as follows. Still no Paul Mullin for them. Their top scorer over the last 2 seasons is sitting out the opening weeks of the season as he recovers from minor back surgery. Phil Parkinson took the opportunity to rotate against Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup. 10 changes on Tuesday, but back to something like full strength for this afternoon's game. Just one change from that opening weekend. Wingback Seb Revin comes in for Ryan Barnett. So Wrexham start with Arthur Okonkwo in goal, newly signed on a permanent deal from Arsenal. Tom O'Connor, Owen O'Connell and Max Cleworth are the back 3, with James McLean, the captain, and Seb Revin at full-back. George Dobson, Elliot Lee, Andy Cann in the midfielders, Ollie Palmer and Jack Marriott leading the line. On the bench, Callum Burton, the goalkeeper, George Evans, Sam Dolby, new club record signing from Rotherham, Ollie Rathbone, Dan Scarr, Stephen Fletcher and Ryan Barnett. We are underway in Greater Manchester. Bolton in white shirts, dark blue shorts with red numbers, white socks, kicking from left to right as we look at it in this first half. Wrexham all in black in a chain strip. Bolton on 2 wins from 2 in League and Cup, no less than expected. Wrexham beaten by championship opposition in the Carabao Cup, but with an opening day win in the bag already on their return to League One after 19 years. This one a true test of level for the Welsh side in a meeting that's been a long time coming. The last time these two met was in the Sherpa Vans Trophy, and to give you an idea of how long ago that was, the Berlin Wall was still standing, the Premier League hadn't been invented, and Adrian Clarke was just a teenager in Arsenal's youth setup.
Yeah, you're going back a bit there. So look, maybe that's part of the appeal of this game, because the people have turned out for it. There's a huge crowd. I think about 25,000, and the atmosphere is absolutely terrific. And look, I think we've got two good teams here, two teams that will aspire to be in the promotion picture come the end of it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It hasn't settled down as yet. It's been fast and furious, but it should be a good one.
And we've got a raucous Wrexham travelling support away to our right. We're told about 3,700 have made the trip from North Wales. I wonder if there might be some day trippers in there as well. Maybe a few YouTubers bumping up the numbers for that one. Most of them wearing the club's famous red shirts as the ball meets their goalkeeper, Okonkwo, in front of them. He's all in fluorescent yellow, kicks up towards halfway. The game yet to settle into a pattern in the opening 90 seconds. Bolton, their first time back for a league game after Wembley disappointment at the end of last season. They were beaten, and well beaten, by Oxford United. Playoff semis the season before. Wrexham up as a second place side in League Two. We've spoken a lot about their promotion credentials. One man who has got promotion credentials at this level, Adrian, is Phil Parkinson, the man in charge of Wrexham. How important do you think it is to have a man who knows this division?
Oh, yeah, very important. He's just a winner, isn't he? He knows how to build promotion sides. Phil Parkinson, he's done it twice at League Two level. He's done it twice at League One going into the Championship. So he's absolutely the right man for Wrexham at the moment, and I wish him well. It's been a great story, and I think that the Hollywood owners have done a brilliant job. It's hard to say otherwise.
Well, here comes Josh Dacus-Cogley for Bolton on halfway. White shirts coming forward. Johnston's gone for an incisive pass forward, and it's a lovely ball as well. And committing to it was Revan to tow it behind, and just as well because Sammy Shern was making a beeline for the 6-yard box, almost got onto it as well. It's going to be a corner to Bolton.
Yeah, Shern was in behind Seb Revan. What a pass it was. Absolutely superb from Johnston. Slide rule pass in behind a fullback. And it's a great run, but the recovery sprint from Revan was excellent, but he had to concede the corner.
Well, it was a killer pass to set it up from the returning man, Johnston. Here comes the corner, far side the Bolton left. Defensive header away. Powerful one from the edge of the box, and McLean, it's sent back in, straight at Okonkwo, however, and he gathers the goalkeeper at his near post. Nobody around him had time to make a comfortable judgment on that ball. But he said this club feels like his home, Adrian. He actually came from your old club, Arsenal, as well. He was on a loan deal last season, came in. They've had a bit of trouble in the goalkeeping position, haven't they, Wrexham? But he seems to be the solid number one option now.
Yeah, he did well last year, and look, Arsenal released him, and it paved the way for the move, and he's a good keeper, very athletic.
Well, he might have more to do here because Bolton are coming forward. Aaron Collins, right edge of the penalty area, goes for a shot, and Okonkwo had to be at full stretch to deny. Got down on his right-hand side, and he motions to his defenders. He wants more from them. Wrexham was split apart there in the defensive third. Aaron Collins leapt into action, knocked it onto his left foot, sized up the shot, whipped it towards the far post. Goalkeeper got down low and pokes it behind for another Bolton corner.
Too much space he was given, but he's arrowed that towards the far corner. It's a full length save from Okonkwo. Excellent.
Here comes the Bolton corner in, swinger up towards the front post it goes. Heads go up from both sides. It's still not been cleared, and then the end off of I thought it came off a Bolton head, but no. Referee Ben Speedy is motion for a corner, this time near side the Bolton right, and the pressure at the moment in the opening 4.5 minutes. No goals, but it's all coming from the home side.
Well, it's a perfect start. When you're the home team with this big crowd, expectant crowd, you want to be on the front foot. You want to put your opponents under massive pressure, sustained pressure, and that's what we're seeing here from Wanderers.
So it's Sammy Shern to take the corner, whips it in left-footed, this one an in-swinger as well. It drops in the 6-yard box, and Okonkwo, well, he's dived for it. I don't think he's got it. The ball sprung clear. And then thinking quickly was Tom O'Connor, the Wrexham centre-half. It seemed to take an age there for the goalkeeper to fall down on top of the ball. Everybody was hacking at it. Finally, the ball falls to a defender, and rather fortuitously, on his right foot, he's able to clear away, 0-0.
We had no idea where the ball was. It was like watching rugby, wasn't it? It was like the ball was in the middle of a scrum, had no idea what was happening, but everyone was chopping away at it. I guess you have to say that's a let-off for Wrexham. The ball in from Shern was excellent. Good left-footed delivery, and it caused mayhem. He's had a great start, hasn't he, Shern? He's almost got him behind. He's had a volley straight at the goalkeeper, but a shot on target, and that was a terrific corner kick from him as well. The Hungarian international settling in well here.
Well, Wrexham survive the scrum, and if rugby is your thing, later on Talksport 2, coverage of Super League's Magic Weekend continues. Catalan versus Hull KR second half commentary after this. We'll have updates on the first half after 45 minutes of this one. Huddersfield Castleford following on later at 6:30 p.m. Ball in the midfield. Man goes down in the white shirt, Josh Sheehan for Bolton. Home fans wanted a free kick. They haven't got it, but they've got possession. Toll goes back to Nathan Baxter, all in blue. The former Chelsea youth, number 1 this season, both in terms of the number on his back and his standing. In the mindset of Ian Evatt, forward Wrexham are trying to come down the left side with Ollie Palmer trying to get in behind the defender Ricardo Santos, but he's adjudged to be offside, and if he wasn't, I think he had a handful of the Bolton man's shirt, and it is a defensive free kick. So 6.5 minutes gone, Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Cameron Pope and the former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clark on commentary, and so far a positive start for Bolton. A couple of sighters of the Wrexham goal, and I think, well, we said in build-up, didn't we, how much of a test this is going to be for Wrexham. They had 10 changes in midweek, Adrian, against Sheffield United. Only James McLean, the captain, kept his place. I thought they gave that a good going. I thought they made a good fist of the effort. 4-2 they went down, but it was close for long periods.
No shame in it at all, and it will have done them good. And you know, Seb Revan come in and played that game, was eye-catching, and he gets himself his first Wrexham start this afternoon. So yeah, it was a useful exercise.
Well, he got his first goal for his lone club as well, Seb Revan, in added time. Consolation in the end, 4-2. They were winning that one. However, they're coming forward again now with Revan over halfway. Tries to get in behind the defender, up towards the penalty area, and it's nicked off his toe by Sabi Shern, who was tracking Revan for a good 30 yards there. Bolton, in their first defensive assignment, have managed to toe that one out for a corner, and Wrexham might have a first sight of goal. 7.5 minutes gone at the Tough Sheets. Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
Yeah, really good run, wasn't it, from Seb Revan? Bit of pace, showed some strength as well to shrug off his marker. And look, Wrexham are superb at corners. We know that from the National League, from League One. They score a lot of goals from these kind of situations, and we've got ourselves a very crowded 6-yard box, Cameron.
Well, there's a number of black Wrexham shirts in there. I can see Palmer, Marriott, and it's bent towards those two. It hits a defensive head first, though. The man to control it is Cannon on the edge of the penalty area. He gets what he thought was a shoving from Sabi Shern. Referee said he took the ball out of play with him, and it is a Bolton throw, and that particular spell of danger is quashed. So 8 minutes gone, and for the first time can have a look around and take stock of the surroundings. So they're gunning for Bolton, their biggest gate since the end of the Premier League era. 25k is what's been mooted, and I'm not seeing many spare seats. There's a few up in the gods away to the left-hand side and the north stand end of the ground. We're here in the west stand at the back of the second tier. Myself and Adrian, well populated with Bolton fans. As Wrexham come forward again, the chip over the top, something for Revan to chase into the penalty area. Johnston got across in time, and again, didn't have to look pretty, just got the job done, shins it out for another Wrexham corner, 0-0.
Yeah, they've got their hands full, haven't they, with Revan on that right-hand side, really quick. I remember seeing him at Rotherham last season at the bottom end of the Championship. He sort of struggled to get regular game time there, but he's had a very bright start, and he's won his team another corner here. Johnson, who's come into the team today, has had to really scramble that one.
So here comes the corner again. Wrexham far side the right, whipped in towards the near post this time. Defensive header takes it across goal, but thankfully away from danger as far as Bolton are concerned. Wrexham tight to the left hand touchline now, trying to find room for a cross in, but there was no room for it in the end for Elliot Lee, and he has to make do with a throw in. 20 yards from the corner flag. No goals yet, but chances at either end. In fact, he's going to think better of this, Lee. And here come the first set of boos for Wrexham's new captain, James McLean, given a new deal this summer. 35 years old now, formerly of Wigan, hence the booing. Reportedly was linked with a move, actually, to the Tough Sheets under Ian Evatt, something that the Bolton manager has decried. Dangerous ball across the Bolton penalty area, brought down the control by Marriott, who goes under the control of the Bolton defence straight away in the 18-yard box, and the ball is flashed clear. Now it's a counter-attack for Bolton, but it takes a wicked skip off the turf, and Aaron Collins can't quite get in behind his marker, Tom O'Connor. Good idea from Bolton to turn defence into attack, but for a moment there, a hairy spell for Wanderers. A pass, I think it was Dacus Cogley across his own back line, and picked up by Jack Marriott. 18-yard box, tried to turn, came a cropper, could have been different.
Yeah, could have been. Yeah, it's been lively, it's been really frantic. Looking forward to seeing Collins today. He's had that one effort, really good effort tipped round the post by Okonkwo, but I was impressed with him at Bristol Rovers. He scores goals, he makes goals, hard-working player.
Well, George Johnston was trying to get away down the Bolton left flank. It's in the end towed out by Max Kluwer for a throw-in. And so Bolton 15 yards from the corner flag have got themselves into a good spot once again. White-shirted fans on their feet all around in the corner, awaiting the throw-in. Into the opening minutes, 11 men gone and still no goals. In towards the penalty area it is with Sheehan, holds it up, plays it backwards, now looking for a crossing from the wide point from Thomason, but his pass goes awry. Only found Seb Revan, and this time the former Aston Villa man sees fit to clear rather than to run with it, puts it downfield, and the danger is over. Well, we were listening, if you were with us on Talksport 2 before kick-off, to Mark Isles from the Bolton News, and he talked, Adrian, didn't he, about a lot of pressure and expectation, and that's something that I guess Wrexham have got to deal with as well. Maybe not in the same way, less expectation in terms of promotion, but it's been a long old spell now outside the Premier League.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I think that Bolton fans are desperate for at least Championship football. Once they get in the Championship, they'll want the return to the Premier League. I think they enjoy the football here that Ian Evatt and his side produced, but last season was a major letdown because for me, they should have been promoted. They were one of the 3 best teams.
Here comes Stakers Cogley, 35 yards out from goal for Bolton, near side their right, played more central, now Sheehan. First time we've seen a proper pattern of play in the midfield from Bolton. Wrexham have 10 men behind the ball. Out to the Bolton wide left it goes with Schern. Cut back to Sheehan once again with the pink boots. More central for Thomason. This time they'll come down the right hand side. Aaron Collins, corner of the area, plays it in along the ground, and a deflected shot up towards the crossbar and wobbles onto the roof of the net. Dion Charles with the shot. Well, top scorer in the last 2 seasons for Bolton. I think it might have gone out on the full, in fact, because the referee's given a goal kick. He got there just before the defender, Owen Connell, flicked it towards goal, just evades the crossbar on its way over. But more attacking intent from Bolton. It remains 0-0 at the tough sheet.
That was clever play, really good. I liked Aaron Collins there. He was brave. Rather than just come back out and play the safe pass, he's tried to thread it into the box to his centre-forward partner, Dion Charles. And Charles is aware, I've got to hit this first time. He sort of plays it around the corner, just gets a little bit too much elevation on the shot, and it drops onto the top of the net rather than underneath the crossbar. But that was inventive from Bolton.
Well, home fans aren't happy because Aaron Collins thought he'd stolen a march there on James McLean and turned away from him, expecting a clean run at the corner flag and a crossing position, but the referee says he pushed him. Ben Speedy, the man in orange today, centre of the park, refereed a 7-0 win for Bolton last season. That was against Exeter. I don't think we'll be seeing the same scoreline today, but
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. I think this looks like a competitive game to me.
Well, the way storylines have followed Wrexham over the last 2 or 3 years now, you wouldn't put it past them. Here's Elliot Lee, 35 yards out for Wrexham this time. Tries to play it into Palmer in the 18-yard box. Bolton were wise to it, saw it coming, and Dion Charles is fouled in the centre circle. And the white shirts looking for a quick free kick, and they've got one with George Thomason. The referee's not happy though. He says the play needs to come back a good 10 yards or so.
That was good centre-forward play from Dion Charles. Just got his body between George Dobson and the ball, just backed into him, and then the midfielder trying to recover kind of has no option but to make a little bit of contact, and he goes down really easily. But yeah, that's clever from Charles, who I think should be there or thereabouts for the Golden Boot in League One this season.
Well, it wouldn't be a bad bet for it. Forward the ball comes for Bolton towards Aaron Collins, trying to play in Charles. He was tracked all the way by Owen Connell, who's then given it away, and as Collins tries to come down towards goal, he's felled on the edge of the penalty area, down the left channel. And well, there are calls from the home fans for a card of, well, a red colour. I think that's a tad too much. Free kick is going to be in a good position for Bolton Wanderers. Revan is standing as a one-man defence at the moment, but Wrexham, well, not the cleanest of starts from them defensively. They made problems for themselves there, giving the ball away in the edge of the penalty area, and that was the only option that was left.
Yeah, O'Connor's foul was quite spectacular, which is why there were calls for yellow, but it came from Dion Charles, just closing down the defender, winning the ball back. You know, absolutely brilliant centre-forward play from Bolton's top marksman, excellent defending from the front, and this free kick is in a great spot. They are going to whip this in towards the far corner and hope to get a little nick on it, Bolton.
Well, no card forthcoming for Owen O'Connell. Maybe he's got away with one there. Looked like strong case for a yellow. Home fans are always going to call for it. They might be calling for something else in a minute, because a free kick for Bolton, left side of the penalty area, 10 yards from the byline, just down that channel. Here it comes with Sheehan, and tipped over the bar well by Okonkwo.
Yeah, well, he didn't need a touch from a teammate. He went for goal there, Josh Sheehan. He's got that in his armoury. We've seen him score good goals in the past. A real technician. But Okonkwo, he's definitely one of the most athletic goalkeepers flying his trade at this level. I think we've got two good young keepers here today, actually. Okonkwo and Nathan Baxter. I think they're two excellent prospects.
Yeah, Nathan Baxter finally got a permanent move after a succession of loans from Chelsea. At the other end, here comes Sheehan's corner towards the front post, and a free kick is given against Bolton for pushing. And that's the end of that promising attack. It was John McAtee who was penalised, signed in the summer from Luton. Got his first start on Tuesday. Got a half an hour on the opening day against Leyton Orient, but in from the start today. He was part of the Barnsley team that faced Bolton 4 times last season, twice in the playoffs. And well, there were a few cross words between him and Ian Evatt after those games, so bridges had to be built following his signing this season. Ian Evatt has said to the local press, I'm sure he's a player, though, that you want on your team no matter what the circumstances, and you hate to have in the team against you.
I'll tell you what, you're a brave man to have words with Ian Evatt. He is a unit. He's a big guy.
I found that myself as a young reporter once. Into the penalty area, Bolton come with Shearn, but he was already going down to ground as the ball came into him. Loses out, but George Johnston has it. Far side the Bolton left, up by the corner flag. Revan is jostling with him. Back it goes towards McAtee, now 40 yards away from goal. Bolton praised by the home fans for keeping possession. They've had to go deep and back towards the centre circle. Here's Josh Dacres-Cogley, near side the Bolton right. Back into the defence it goes, and Ricardo Santos had to react quickly because Jack Marriott was off like a shot to follow him. And with a pass back to Baxter, it's conservative but correct play by Bolton, and they keep possession. 17.5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport, we've got the Sunday session with Sam Matterface. Updates from Chelsea versus Manchester City from 4:30. And don't forget, tomorrow night, Talksport exclusive Premier League commentary of Leicester versus Tottenham from 8 p.m. As Sheehan comes through the midfield for Bolton Wanderers, trying to use Charles 30 yards out. Had his back to goal. Bolton keep possession. Charles once again towards the edge of the penalty area, but he's pressured by O'Connor, and the ball comes free. But for a Bolton throw-in, and James McLean had made a play as if to pick the ball up and throw on down the line for Wrexham. And the home fans around him at the West Stand took great delight in reminding him that it was a Bolton ball. He'll known what he was in for, I think, coming back to this parish.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's the energy that he seems to feed off. James McLean.
Yeah, he's got thick skin, that boy. Yeah, he won't be worried about it at all. It'd probably make him play better, if anything. I think with what we've seen in the early stages is the difference in levels. Bolton were top side at League One level last year. Wrexham were in League Two, and it looks like that. If you weren't to know about Wrexham's story, you'd think, well, Bolton are clearly the superior side in the opening stages. The way they knock the ball around is excellent. I mean, they've dominated the ball.
Bolton have it 35 yards out, or had it would be more accurate, because it's given away by Josh Dacres-Cogley. One back though towards the corner of the penalty area. The white shirts trying to press forward with Thomason. Out towards the left hand side it goes. Sabi Shearn, corner of the penalty area. Hungarians seen plenty of it so far. Up against Revan of Wrexham. Away it goes once again. Still 0-0 at the tough sheet. Sheehan 35 yards out into Charles, who tried to turn his man, but Wrexham have been quick at turning away those balls, and they can release an attempted counter of their own towards Marriott, who had no room to spin into, and in the end it was an easy stop for George Johnston back towards his goalkeeper. 20-minute mark. Home fans certainly bringing their voice in their first home league encounter of this season. Another season at this level for Bolton Wanderers. 2 failed attempts at the playoffs in the last 2 campaigns, but they are keeping the promoted side limited for the most part inside their own half. Chances for both teams, but Bolton have certainly had the better of the possession. Nearest they've come beyond Charles' effort that skimmed onto the roof of Arthur Okonkwo's net. So far though, no goals. And don't forget, Talksport, your home of the EFL, on Friday night from 8 p.m. The Championship is back. Exclusive commentary on Talksport 2 of Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds. Both Yorkshire sides failing to win this weekend. A rather spectacular game earlier on at the Stadium of Light. And a heavy win for Sunderland against the Owls. Whereas here it's still steadfastly 0-0. Forward, Bolton come over halfway. Long ball up down the right-hand flank for Collins, who spins away from the challenge. He's into a shooting position now, 30 yards out. Tries to spin it through the middle. Only found Owen O'Connell, who gets the clearance away for Wrexham, but then there was time in the midfield there for George Dobson to pick a pass, which he didn't. Puts it straight out of play, and Bolton have got another spell of possession inside the attacking third.
Yeah, we know they're good on the ball, but as soon as they lose the ball, they're really quick to try and win it back as well. Bolton Wanderers under Ian Evatt, both sides of the game they do excellently.
Cross came in from McAtee, by the way, on the right-hand side, tried to whip it to the front post, but it was fielded away at the front post by Tom O'Connor. But it's as you say, Adrian, it seems to be that every time Wrexham do get the ball, Bolton is straight back on top of them, gives them no time to think. That's been the pattern we've seen over the opening 21 and a half minutes. No goals though.
Yes, it's really dominant, 77% possession. And you know, that 5-3-2, because you know, ahead of kick-off, I think he just goes a 3-5-2. Well, it's quickly become a 5-3-2. They have been pinned back into their own half. The three in front are having to sit there and keep their shape and discipline. It's been a really positive start for Bolton Wanderers. They've brought a couple of good saves out of Okonkwo already. Wrexham, apart from the odd corner, haven't put Wanderers under any kind of sustained pressure at all.
We had that one run, didn't we, from Seb Revan, and that's the wing-backs who've essentially become full-backs. That's the only time that Revan has been able to get forward. He got into the penalty area, drilled a shot across goal, and George Johnston managed to knock it behind for a corner. That is it for the travelling 3,500 supporters. I reckon that, well, many of them, in fact none of them will have been at this particular ground. Some of them might have been at Burnden Park back in the 80s when they faced each other more regularly in the third and fourth tiers, these two. This is the first meeting since 1989. 3-1 win for Bolton in the Sherpa Vans Trophy. Wrexham haven't won in this fixture since 1985 in the FA Cup. And so far, Bolton have made the greatest statement too. Promotion hopefuls, you'd certainly expect Bolton and Ian Evatt to be up there. Wrexham hopeful is more the term, and they're on the defensive again. It's going to be a throw-in for Josh Dacres-Cogley, 30 yards from the Wrexham corner flag, thrown into the penalty area for Dion Charles, takes it on his chest but is marshalled towards the dead ball line by Tom O'Connor. McLean tries to clear it though when it comes to the left corner flag, and the assistant referee says he got enough of Josh Dacres-Cogley on the way past to make sure it's a Wrexham ball. 23 and a half minutes gone on Talksport 2, and it remains still 0-0.
Yeah, if Wrexham are to get any kind of positive result here this afternoon, they're going to need that back three to earn their money. Cleworth, O'Connor, you know, they're all good defenders, bit of experience between them, but they're going to have to do a lot of work, you suspect.
Here comes Andy Cannon into the centre circle for Wrexham. First time we've seen them come over halfway in a while. Out to the right hand side for Revan, trying to get past Sabby Shern, goes down to the byline, keeps it alive, but only just, and he could only tow it towards the 6-yard box. It had lost all its pace, nobody was with him, and it's out for a goal kick. And the briefest of flashes from Wrexham, well managed by Sabby Shern, remains goalless.
I like Shern, I like the look of him. Early on in the game he had a couple of good moments, made a nice run in behind, had a shot on goal. I think in general he's looked solid defensively, but also nice on the ball. So yeah, I think that could turn out to be a good pick up from Bolton.
Oh, given away though by Bolton, left back position. Sabby Shern playing it inside, and for a moment it gave Cannon a run at goal, but his pass is too misplaced, and Bolton can come through the gears now into the centre circle. Free ball on here if anyone can get a touch on it. Big challenge came in from Wrexham's number 6 Tom O'Connor. Home fans thought it was a little too overzealous. Referee said nothing wrong with it, and Wrexham have managed to win possession back halfway inside their own half and play out through the goalkeeper Okonkwo in the end. Pressure on Sheehan now from the opposite number 8 Andy Cannon. He went straight into the back of him. The Welshman picks himself up in the knowledge that his side have got a free kick just inside their own half. 25 gone now, and it is still Bolton 0, Wrexham 0 on Talksport 2.
Oh, some meaty challenges going in down there.
Proper EFL this, isn't it?
Love it. There were 3 or 4 in a row there where basically the players whacked the ball like it was a shot, basically, but they were tackles.
Well, we haven't seen much in the way of quality from Wrexham so far. We have seen a lot in terms of desire. There's another big challenge coming in on Elliot Lee from George Thomason. Not one that wins the ball back, though. Wrexham are going to clear over halfway with O'Connor. only to the white shirts of Bolton. 0-0 as Thomason tries to turn into an attacking position. Has to go back into his own half as Santos. Forward to Johnston over halfway. Now Aaron Collins picking it up. Forgot to take the ball with him though. And Cleworth can pick out Cannon on halfway for Wrexham. Forward they come now. Ollie Palmer bearing down on the penalty area. Gets a little shove from Ricardo Santos. And the Bolton captain is going to be penalised here. The assistant referee flagging the decision on the far side. Home fans didn't agree. And Josh Sheehan is now in conversation with the referee. I don't think it's a debate that he's going to win. Players don't tend to. And Wrexham, who haven't had much to show in an attacking sense in the opening 26 minutes, well, they've got a free kick on the corner of the area.
Yeah, it was a little bit reckless, wasn't it, from Ricardo Santos? He can be like that. I mean, he's quick. He's much quicker than Ollie Palmer. All he's got to do there is stand his ground and say, come on then, come and beat me. But he's over eager to go and win the ball first time and knock the guy over, and he's given away a free kick. I think it was soft, but the referee's given it. And this is an opportunity for Wrexham to just put a free cross into the box, and they've got a lot of big men that have come up from the back for it.
And there are a number of black shirts waiting for this one. The ball at the feet of Elliot Lee, far side the Wrexham right, just beyond the corner of the penalty area. 2 in the wall for Bolton. 0-0 at Tough Sheet Community Stadium on Talksport 2. Referee is just setting the wall and getting his own position set. Everybody waiting with anticipation for the whistle. Chances at a premium for Wrexham so far, but they've got one here. Elliot Lee still primed. There's now 2 men over it. Flash towards the front post it goes. And after all the build-up, well, the ball from Tom O'Connor, it was in the end, hits the first man, Sabi Shern, and is out for a corner. So, Wrexham with a chance to keep the pressure on. Tom O'Connor has gone over to take it. They're down the other end from their away fans, who have packed out 1.5 tiers at the Tough Sheet. It's a quick routine actually taken by Wrexham, one that completely breaks down. It was played into Cannon. He didn't know there was a man over his shoulder, forced into an errant pass and placed it out for a goal kick. And the problem, I think, Adrian, with Wrexham so far is we've seen them get into the final third. I don't think with the absence of their main outlet, Paul Mullin, it just seems like they're searching for ideas a little bit. That final ball, they don't seem to know where it's due to go.
No, and look, Marriott's pretty quick and lively, but hasn't had much of the ball. Palmer is a good target man, but he's not got a lot of pace, and they're struggling to stretch Bolton Wanderers whenever they have the ball. It's there's not been much guile about them either, but they're not really that sort of team. Elliot Lee brings that, of course he does. He scores goals, he creates chances, but they're a functional side, Wrexham, that have really done well at that side of the game across the last few seasons. But I think the difference in the level that they've been playing at to what they're facing here today is pretty big actually, and they're finding it tough going.
Well, Sheehan's won a free kick for Bolton, 45 yards out, one that's taken quickly by Wanderers. 0-0. Just shy of half an hour gone at Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Here's Josh Dacres-Cogley near side the right for Bolton. Down the line it goes. Thomason, he tried to jink and turn, but he left the ball behind him. And George Dobson manages to clear it upfield, looking for Palmer, who heads down into the path of Elliot Lee, goes down. Referee awards a free kick to Bolton Wanderers. It was right in front of Ian Evatt, who sprinted out of his technical area and waved his arms in protest. And his words are not heeded by the referee. So 0-0. Half an hour gone in this League One encounter. Ian Evatt now stood there in black pumps, black jeans and a rather smart-looking three-quarter pole up top. As he looks on as his side have, had the share of the chances so far, the Lions' share of them, but are on the defensive here. Elliot Lee 35 yards out, looks over his left shoulder to bring in O'Connor, midway through the Bolton half, but his pass with the target of Ollie Palmer is mislaid. Bolton can clear. Owen Toll, who made a hash of the first clearance, gets it back on the edge of his penalty area, and this time decides that Nathan Baxter in goal might be the better option. So the pace has gone out of this game so far. We can see Phil Parkinson now come out of his into his technical area. Seems they shop at the same store for their pumps, these two managers. In fact, Adrian, I heard you on a podcast this week talking about managerial gear, and so they're all in black. It's a club polo shirt, short sleeve for Phil Parkinson. Very standard managerial gear. Who wins the whole garment fair for you on the touchline today?
It's hard to see, isn't it? It is hard to see. I think both look okay. I'd probably put Ever looks slightly smarter than Parky, I'd say, today. But yeah, they're not the worst. They're not wearing the club shop, which is always a little bit of a questionable look for me. I don't know what I'd be if I was a manager. Would I be a shirt and tie guy?
That's a good question.
I think I'd probably be smart casual like these guys, but I'd like to think there's a part of me that would want to be that shirt and tie guy, a little bit old school.
Well, no shirts and ties today. We're layered up. We're right up behind the gantry at the Tough Sheet. It's a cold and windy day, still sunny, however. Just a quick smattering of free kicks in the centre circle there, one for each side. Quick breakdown of possession, but the play's not really developed. Revan's got it far side the Wrexham right, ran out of room to try and take it around Shern, and it comes out off the Wrexham lad last. So it's a throw into Bolton Wanderers. Still no goals in this League One affair. Bolton looking to make it 3 wins from 3, League and Cup. Wrexham beaten by Sheffield United on Tuesday, but they got their League One return off to a good start in a 3-2 win over Wycombe Wanderers at the Stoke Kairas last Saturday. A few hairy minutes with Sam Vokes' goal for Wycombe as they entered added time. Had to see out 6 minutes in that one, but they got over the line. This one proving to me a much sterner test as Okonkwo clears for Wrexham over halfway, met by the head of Santos for Bolton. Anyone's ball now in the centre of the park. Comes down at the feet of Thomason, lost it as he turned, played it straight to Marriott and Wrexham Black. 1-2 with Palmer, now over halfway. Not got many options going forward, plays it sideways towards Elliot Lee. Now forward to the Wrexham left-hand side and McLean. Elliot Lee trying to come forward again, but Bolton have got plenty of men behind this ball, 10 in fact now, and they seem adept at soaking up the pressure. Wrexham still have it at 0-0. Tom O'Connor playing down the line, McLean again, punctuated by Boozy, crosses in, it hits Toll and goes behind for a Wrexham corner. And they're starting to grow into this game a little bit now, the visiting side.
I was just thinking the same. Yeah, I think they've just grown into the half. They've had a period where they've kept Bolton at arm's length. I think they themselves have started to be a little bit more aggressive. They're winning those duels in the middle of the park that earlier on in the game where they were chasing shadows. They're getting tighter to Bolton players now, and it's helping them progress upfield.
Here comes the corner, near side the Wrexham left. This one deep in, swinger towards the back post. Men going up, it's going to fall. O'Connor at the back post, swiping for it. And Ricardo Santos, captain's tackle, threw his body in the way with it. I couldn't tell you what part of the body it hit. He just threw his force in front of the shot, and it cannoned it 30 yards downfield. And the danger is over for now. Wrexham still with it. George Dobson on halfway, flicked forward towards Marriott on the turn, trying to get away from Toll. Northern Irishman got his body in the way and turned it into the path of McLean. Wrexham forced to go back to halfway, and Bolton, they don't look like they're flapping when they're having to defend, even though they are having to do more of it. Dobson coming forward. I'll get Adrian Clark's thoughts in a second. Cannon 30 yards out with a roulette turn, trying to play it in towards Lee, but again Bolton have got men on the edge of the box, and now it's them coming forward up towards halfway. Here's McAtee, tried to turn it outside right and looking for the run of Collins, nothing on, and goes back into the defence. So a rip-roaring couple of minutes, 33 gone, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, no goals, but it's a really interesting game to watch. I do think we've got two decent League One outfits down there on the pitch doing battle. Bolton won't mind having to defend every now and again. It might create more space for them to break into, and they've got excellent players that maybe want that little bit of space. You know, McAtee, Collins, Charles, excellent forward players, and I really like the midfield too of Sheehan and Thomason. And so neat and tidy, aren't they? And I also think without the ball they offer plenty. So yeah, Bolton have shaded this first half, but this has been a better spell for the Welshmen. Yeah,
perhaps shaded it, but not by as much as they would have wanted to. Ian Everett's side got 10 minutes and change left in this first half. You're listening to Talksport 2. Cameron Pope and the former Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clark alongside me. As we await this Bolton free kick, it's a good 45 yards out from goal as the crow flies. Maybe 20 yards right of centre. And it's taken short by Sabi Shern after all that. Now Sheehan, wide right, crosses in towards the back post. Managed to find the only part of the penalty area with no white shirt in it. And Wrexham can clear away through Andy Cannon. Over the head of Marriott it goes on halfway. and that'll be watched out for a throw-in to Bolton Wanderers. Still goalless. I think it's, as you said, Adrian, there's been quality from both sides. Maybe not in the final third, save for one shot that was unlucky to miss from Dion Charles. Chipped it onto the roof of Okonkwo's net after 15 minutes. That's about it, though.
Yeah, there was the Collins effort, wasn't there? A little left footer towards that far corner.
Oh, true. He drew a very good save actually out of Okonkwo, didn't he? In the
that was
opening
probably
minutes.
the best moment of the first half. Yeah. Open play chances have been few and far between. I did come here thinking today set pieces might be big. 21 goals from set pieces Bolton last season, the second most in League One. So for all of their good football, Bolton, a lot of their output actually comes from corners and wide free kicks. But yeah, the delivery from both teams has been okay, but each defence has been able to handle it up until this point.
So 0-0, free kick to Wrexham just a step or so inside their own half. Sheehan adjudged to a fouled cannon to the eye of the home supporters, and a packed out Tough Sheet Community Stadium as Wrexham play it long ball up towards Palmer. Couldn't find a flick on towards a Wrexham black shirt. Bolton will have it. Now white shirts coming forward, up to halfway it goes. Dacres Cogley onto his right foot, now his left, cuts inside two Wrexham men. Forward it is to Thomason. Dacres Cogley will have it back. Now halfway inside the Wrexham half. Home fans like what they're seeing. Johnston it is to play it out this time left hand side. Sabi Shern 30 yards from the corner flag. Sheehan again. This time it's Wrexham who are absorbing the play well. They've forced Bolton back over halfway. So Toll in the centre circle. Going to try again. Into the feet of McAtee with his back to goal. Long way out. Slipped through the middle. It was by Thomason. This one might fall here for Dion Charles. Shouts of handball there against O'Connor as he turned to try and play the ball away. Referee not interested though. Absolutely furious is Sabi Shern of Bolton. He jumps and throws an arm in frustration. He thought it should have been handball. We're getting no replays here. All we've got to go on is the Bolton players' reaction, which isn't the most reliable indicator.
No, maybe not.
But a nervy moment there for Wrexham, because a couple of men turned and looked at the referee, Ben Speedy. Nothing given that will favour the home side. Just a throw into Wrexham in their defensive forward.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen a replay of that. Certainly got the crowd going. It was a nice through ball, wasn't it, from Thomason to Dion Charles. Lovely little bit of movement. And from there, Wrexham were a little bit stretched, more stretched than they've been for the last 15-20 minutes, and yeah, it did look like a handball, but we're a long way away from the incident.
And I could have probably predicted what chant would emanate from the away fans now, and every time Bolton touch the ball, it's a handball cry from the 3,500 travelling Wrexham supporters. And Marriott's trying to race forward now, long ball, but he was in a suspicious amount of room there, Jack Marriott. Aerial pass, and the assistant referee had his flag straight in the air.
Yeah, he went a bit early, but that was good up, back and through. We saw some really good goals from Wrexham last weekend against Wickham, where they go into the forward, they come back, and then from that second ball they scored good goals, and that was what they tried there.
Dacres Cogley is now trying to get on a long ball for Bolton Wanderers. 0-0, few minutes to go before half time. Tight to the right hand touchline he is, gets a cross in, it hits McLean, goes up rather than away. O'Connor was underneath it just inside the penalty area. He'll get a second chance to clear and does so on the left foot. It's just crept over the whitewash, and so it's a throw into Bolton just inside the Wrexham half. Home fans willing them on to get a goal before the break. Bolton look the more likely of the two sides to get one. We have seen the promoted team start to get back into this one though on Talksport 2. Don't forget, stick around after this, but Super League commentary from the Magic weekend. Continuation of Catalan versus Hull KR after this, then Huddersfield Giants versus Castleford Tigers. No, it's the Castleford Dragons then. Sheehan forward for Bolton, into towards the penalty area. Floated towards Sabi Shern, but it was always a speculative ball. And Okonkwo gets two gloved hands behind it. Maybe not as busy as he might have expected to be against this Bolton side. Had most of the possession, most of the attacks, but when we count those big chances for Bolton as just two so far. Remains 0-0. Oh, Okonkwo dallied on that ball there. He had all the time in the world to get it clear. And all of a sudden, Dion Charles put him under pressure. He let it roll onto his left foot, the former Arsenal man. Did get it away, but it took a hefty swipe off the Bolton man. And for that, it's a Wrexham throw 20 yards from their own byline.
Yeah, they press so well, Bolton. They were the best pressing side in the division last year. As soon as they lose it, they want to win it back straight away. And that includes if the keeper's had it, or keeper's got it. They've had about 2/3 of possession. The shot count reads 6-1 Bolton. 5 shots on target. It hasn't felt like that. But they have had, because they've not really come super close to scoring. But you know, it's been it's been dominant without really stretching Wrexham enough, in my opinion.
Here's Toll for Bolton, 40 yards out, into the feet of McAtee, who's not got much room to operate. Still manages to find Dacus Cogley down the right-hand side, gets the cross in. Good header away from Tom O'Connor. Out towards the edge of the penalty area where Bolton have won it back. George Thomason floats one up over the top, and it's just too far forward for Sabi Shern. Goalkeeper have come out decisively for it anyway. And after 40 minutes, this one still has no goals in it, but Bolton still knocking. And it remains, as we started, much to the frustration, I imagine, of Ian Evatt, who's still pacing around in his technical area. No breakthrough as yet. Meanwhile, Wrexham still, when they've had their chances, threatening on the counter. Yet to see a proper chance from them, though, I think we have to say, as Bolton come up with it on halfway. George Thomason has his foot on the ball. Pace is slowed again. Back to Ricardo Santos in the centre circle. White shirts fanning out for Bolton. Sheehan has dropped back from midfield to look for a pass. Can't find any going forward. Owen Toll now on halfway. Again back to Sheehan. Everybody trying to press from Wrexham now. Elliot Lee's got him tucked towards the touchline on halfway. It is eventually the long ball from Thomason deep towards the far corner flag. He hit that with too much vigour. One bounce and out for a goal kick. And so we've seen the quality that we saw ebb away in the last few minutes. 41 minutes gone. Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
Yeah, what's happening is that Bolton are having a lot of the ball and they're knocking it around beautifully. In the middle third, little triangles, 1-2 touch. It's mesmeric at times, but what they're not doing is moving the Wrexham players out of position. They're all keeping that solid five at the back, the three in midfield. They're just happy to keep their shape and let Bolton do their thing, and then force them into hurrying something else, to trying the ambitious pass. And those ambitious passes from Bolton haven't come off.
James McLean winning a header halfway inside the Bolton half. Can't find a black shirt with it though. Safe header back to the goalkeeper in the end, Baxter, and he was under pressure from Elliot Lee still, but there's a good, I'm going to say, 6 inches of height over the son of Rob Lee, former England international, and catches it without any problem. Bolton are going to use their goalkeeper again. In fact, he'll play it out along the turf, looking for George Johnston. Up towards halfway now, Bolton are coming. Might be forced to go long again though, because all the routes into midfield are blocked off by Wrexham shirts. Here's Ricardo Santos at centre half in the centre circle. Owen Toll now on his right hand side, chips it into the space normally frequented by either Aaron Collins or John McAtee. Neither of them are there, and in the end it's just into the hands of goalkeeper Okonkwo. 0-0.
Good example, isn't it, of what I was just saying? You know, they're in a good position, but Wrexham are forcing Bolton to try something a bit ambitious to open them up, and until this point they've not found that magic pass. It's been a little bit frustrating for the home side.
Well, it might take a spark or something. It is a stalemate, an uneasy stalemate if you're a Wrexham fan, I should imagine, because Bolton are coming forward again. Long ball over the top, offside. Flag is up against Dion Charles, who got into the penalty area. Thought he might have turned his man, but well, the flag was up early from the assistant on the near side. And it rather sums up this half, I think, at times, as you've said, Adrian, looking for that final ball, that moment, that spark, and as soon as Bolton think they might have got it there, the flag is up to thwart them. 0-0 at the tough sheet, 43 on the clock.
Yeah, loads of quality in the middle third and final third, less so. I mean, everything good that Bolton have done in this half was done in the first 15 minutes. Since then, you know, they've struggled.
Ball is out for a throw-in for Wrexham, far side there, right. It's going to be taken by Max Cleworth. Got a goal on opening day, the first goal actually. Not one in from an Elliot Lee corner at the back post. Says there's big teams in this division, your likes of Birmingham's, your Huddersfield, and they've got to compete with them this season. Wrexham, I think you can put Bolton in that category as well. Wrexham trying to attack down the right flank with Marriott, but he was kept in a corner by Ricardo Santos, and Santos adjudged to get the final touch there by the assistant referee. And the Wrexham fans who wanted a free kick are placated by the fact they've got a corner. And what a time this would be. 45th minute of the game, no score at either end. Wrexham certainly look the least likely to break the deadlock, but they've got a chance here from Tom O'Connor's corner. And you said, Adrian Clark, that set pieces could be the one in this game.
Yeah, I think, well, last year, third most goals from set pieces, Wrexham in League Two. Another very crowded near 6-yard box here.
Plenty of black shirts to aim for. O'Connor whips it in towards the back post. Santos is the header away, and the whistle has gone in favour of the defending side. Bolton Wanderers with a free kick inside their own penalty area. So that comes to nothing. They have tried to mix it up from those corners, some to the near post for Wrexham, some to the far post. Got plenty of tall figures in there as well. Looking at your likes of Ollie Palmer. He went 20 games unbeaten as a starter last season for Wrexham, but it's the marker of the step up in quality. A different ball game now almost at League One, and I think it's fair from the referee. He's decided that no added time should be played after that game. And well, it's been a half that's been light on clear-cut chances, we might say. Plenty of quality, notably from Bolton in the middle third, lacking a little bit in the final third. There's a few words being said by Wrexham striker Jack Marriott in the ear of the referee as he leaves the pitch at half-time. So all square at the tough sheet. Chances mainly for Bolton in those opening minutes, and Aaron Collins pulling a left-footed curler out of the bag from the edge of the penalty area, forced a good save out of a Okonkwo. I think it might have been hitting the post or going wide, but the goalkeeper wasn't to know. And then also we saw a Dion Charles effort that just leaped up over the Wrexham crossbar, landed on the roof of the net. Wrexham are threatened in fits and starts, but no proper chances for them. And at half-time at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium in League One, it is Bolton Wanderers 0, Wrexham 0.
Just feeling each other out, guys. Don't worry. The second 45 minutes, I promise you, will explode into life. All the goals we were promised a little bit earlier on, I'm sure will come, because it hasn't exactly, Adrian Clark, lived up to the billing. 68% possession for Bolton. They've had 6 shots for that, 32 obviously for Wrexham. They've had just a single shot in that opening 45 minutes. Why do you feel like we didn't get not an end-to-end game, but just the amount of goal-mouth action that maybe you would have expected before?
I think you got to give credit to Phil Parkinson and the way he set Wrexham up, really. He knew that his team wouldn't be able to out-football Bolton. Bolton have been operating at a high end of League One for several years. They knock the ball around beautifully. I think he accepts that. So he set up in quite a defensive way and said, come on then, Bolton, come and break us down. And early on in the game, it was tough for Wrexham. There was a bit of tempo about Bolton, and they created some half chances. The longer the half went on, the tougher Bolton found it, and Wrexham grew into it, and they grew, their confidence soared because they weren't being stretched at all by Bolton Wanderers. They're keeping the home side at arm's length, and that is to do with tactical organisation. They're nullifying what is a really talented Wanderers side at the moment. So yeah, that's the reason I think we're goalless at the break. The thing that Parkinson will demand from his players second half is, can we carry a bit more threat at the other end of the pitch? Because at the moment, next to nothing has happened in terms of them troubling Bolton.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just because they've come with a focus on being defensively rigid rather than too open? Yeah,
well,
okay.
They've got everyone behind the ball. You've got a back five, and the 3 midfielders are pretty deep as well, which basically just leaves the 2 strikers a little bit isolated. They need a bit more support. They need Revan on that right-hand side to maybe be a bit bolder and more adventurous, come and join in. They need James McLean to do the same. We know what he's like on the ball inside the final third. He can make things happen. They need their wing-backs to offer a little bit more panache and adventure. I think they've just been pinned back because Bolton have been so possession heavy in that first half. The key really is can they get the ball into Palmer? Can he look after it and bring those midfielders into play? That way they'll be able to get upfield, because as it stands, they've just barely spent any time in and around the final third in this first half, Wrexham.
Which manager do you feel is the happier going in at half time?
Oh, I think Parkinson, away from home against one of the best teams in the division, haven't really had their goalkeeper troubled in the last half an hour. I think he's delighted. They've carried out his instructions pretty well. He just wants the other side. He wants that maintained, and then maybe can we have a little bit more as an attacking force in the second half? Can we hold it better? Can we get the wing backs forward? So no, Parkinson will be happier. I don't think Everett will be furious. His team have looked after the ball well. They've knocked it around nicely, but he'll just be a little bit agitated that they've lacked that creativity, that little bit of guile in and around the opposition goal. That's what they need to find in this second half.
Okay, all right, a big second half on the way here on Talksport 2. We'll be back with Adrian and Cameron very, very soon. Just to let you know, the current scores up and down the country. Brentford leading Crystal Palace by 2-1 in the Premier League. At 4:30, it's Chelsea against Manchester City. You can follow that all with the Sunday session over on Talksport. Earlier on, it finished in the Championship. Sunderland 4, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Notts County 2, Fleetwood Town 2 in League 2. Games ongoing in the Scottish League Cup round of 16, 90 minutes on the clock. Dundee United lead St Mirren by 1-0, goalless between Motherwell and 10-man Kilmarnock. At half-time, Celtic lead Hibernian by 2-1. And for us, at the break on EFL Game Day Live, we need a little bit more in that second half. It is Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Imagine if that mate, you know the one, could actually take a pic of your festival fit and get the DJ in too. No need to imagine. Just unfold your new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 and watch as AI and auto zoom fits everyone and everything in shot. Now that's defo going on the grid.
Galaxy AI is here on the Galaxy Z Flip 6. Buy now at Sky Mobile from £37 a month, including the new Buds 3 Pro. Ends 28th of August. See sky.com/mobile for terms.
This season, stream Sky Sports on Now.
Players are ready and now we're off. What a nutmeg! Now he must score!
Now how has he missed that? Now that was defo a pen!
Now the ref's got to send him off. Now that must be the match winner.
Head to nowtv.com and stream Sky Sports with no contract.
Now that is world class.
18 plus, UK only, 6 month saver option also available.
That's not simple. That's not simple. Now that's simple. Hastings Direct Car Insurance is simple, because when life is this complicated, finding a great deal shouldn't be. Great cover, great price, and a great app makes us one of the UK's top choices when comparing car insurance online. Hastings Direct. Simplicity is the best policy. For verification, see hastingsdirect.com/verify.
Oh, that'll be the running group chat. Colin smashed his 5k, and Gina's jogging up some mountain in Portugal, and I've just bought a new couch. Oh, update, Gina's made it to the top, and she has a new blister. Surely sending all this is costing her a fortune.
Actually, Cam, it isn't. Here at Tesco Mobile, we've made sure she has no EU roaming fees this year.
Oh, sign me up.
It pays to be connected. Tesco Mobile, every little helps. Terms apply. See tescomobile.com/home from home.
PGA Tour, the St Jude's Championship, tonight from 8:30, live on Talksport 2.
Turns it up at the hole and into the bottom. That's a winner.
As the World's Golfing Elite go head-to-head at TPC Southwind, hear full swing by pitch-by-putt commentary of all the action direct from Memphis.
Firm stroke, the ball working toward the hole. That's in. Wow.
PGA Tour, the St Jude's Championship, tonight from 8:30, live on Talksport 2. Join the Football Collective.
The cool, clinical finish.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Well, not much to write home about in that opening 45 minutes at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Bolton had the best of it early on, but Wrexham certainly came back into the game, made things very, very difficult since then, and it certainly is the definition at this point of a stalemate. Bolton 0, Wrexham 0. The second 45 minutes on the way here on EFL Game Day Live. By the way, in the Premier League, just finished Brentford 2, Crystal Palace 1. But following us here on Talksport 2, we've got coverage of Super League's Magic Weekend continuing. Commentary of Catalan Dragons against Hull KR. That's followed by Huddersfield Giants against Castleford Tigers. Joining us now to look ahead to today's action is Craig Murdoch alongside the former Super League Grand Finalist Paul Cook. Gentlemen, good afternoon. What do we got in store this afternoon?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, really good. Some good fixtures coming. A really big one coming very shortly with Hull KR against Catalan. Paul, we've seen game one this afternoon where a bit of a shock on the card. Salford comprehensively beaten by Lee.
Yeah, it started game two with a bit of a shock, haven't we? We got one yesterday where Hull FC were comprehensively beaten, and pretty similar scoreline, wasn't it? A nil scoreline for Salford, who were in the top six. Lee have kept their slim hopes alive of finishing in the top 6 with a wonderful victory. This one sees Hull KR go head-to-head with Catalan. Catalan in 5th spot. Hull KR looking to go from 2nd back to top today with a win.
Do you think they'll do that?
Yeah, I do. I think Hull KR will win this game. I looked at both teams already. I think Hull KR win this one. The last one's an intriguing one. It's not neither team are playing for much else other than a bit of pride. I don't think either of them will make the top 6 playoffs and have a chance to go to Old Trafford for the grand final. But you know, it still should be a quality fixture and a close one.
You know, the game seems today, the sun's shining. Mikey Lewis masterclass today. Do you see in this second game?
I just think Hull KR with almost 0 injuries within their squad, with 5 games to go, which is unheard of, isn't it? You know, they're the healthiest squad. They're at the top of the table. A wonderful victory at Warrington a couple of weeks ago, live on Talksport 2 as well. So I fancy Hull KR to go back to the top of the Super League here this afternoon.
And again, a big travelling support to our left from Hull have made their way over this afternoon.
Yeah, I think barring Leeds, it's the second biggest following that's come to the Magic Weekend this weekend over in Leeds in Ellen Road at the football stadium. It's a wonderful venue, and I think it's been a cracking weekend, and we look forward to finishing it off live on Talksport 2 with the last 2 fixtures.
Yeah, we certainly do. So second half coverage of Hull KR versus Catalan, and then full commentary from Castleford versus Huddersfield. Join us just after 5 o'clock.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. We will be there. A little bit earlier on Talksport 2, we brought you live championship action in the EFL. Sunderland maintaining their 100% start to the season. They hammered Sheffield Wednesday by 4-0. And despite the result, the Sunderland boss Regis Lebris still feels like there's plenty for his team to build on.
With the video analysis, I will find many things to improve, and this is our mindset. Not just me, all the club, all the players, all the staff, and in the building. So if we work like that, we will be happy sometimes because we win. And today it was a great success, really. But we know that during the next games we'll have many problems to solve, and some of them were not impossible to solve. So if we can build on a good dynamic, it's better, but we know that we need to improve many things in our games.
That was Regis Lebris, the Sunderland boss. Very, very happy, albeit contemplative. Well, the Sheffield Wednesday boss, Danny Roll, wasn't too concerned after his side lost 4-0 today, despite victory by the same scoreline on the opening day.
Last week we scored 4 times, today we conceded 4 times. This league is so competitive, every team can beat every team, and you have to be always sharp and ready for this game. And today we want to do some things right. We tried, the beginning was okay, yeah, you have the momentum, maybe it was too good, yeah, it feels too good at the first minutes, and then you conceded a goal. But again, we have to speak about the quick conceded goals. I think this is a big part what we have to improve. Again, yeah, but it's not about after a win we are dreaming for more, and after a defeat we start to, it goes in the wrong direction. And now we have to take the process step by step, learn, and if you do it, then we have a chance.
Yeah, it wasn't really the Sheffield Wednesday that we've become accustomed to in 2024. Really weren't at it today. I think the timing of the goals really poor in terms of them working themselves back into the game as well. And really at 3-0 at half time, you didn't see a comeback. That was put to bed after they conceded 90 seconds into the second half. Really well-deserved victory for Sunderland today. Second in the Championship, albeit at a very, very early stage. A good start to life in England for Regis Lebris. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about Bolton Wanderers against Wrexham. We've got the next 45 minutes coming up at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, and head back to Cameron Pope and Adrian Clark. And I just wonder, Adrian, firstly, if there is either a thought in either manager's mind that they might want to change something here at the break just to give themselves that extra 5% that could be the difference in terms of getting the goal they need.
Yeah, I don't expect changes at the break, but maybe early in the second half from a Bolton perspective, I can see that happening. Wrexham have firepower on the bench. Obviously, Bolton have got Adebayo, who scored last weekend, so he's a great option for them if they want to. They can always flip this, you see. They've got the 3-4-2-1. They could always go 3-4-1-2. to go with the 2 centre forwards, and maybe that would be the best idea, especially up against 3 centre halves. I always think that the solo striker has really got a tough gig when they're surrounded by 3 central defenders. So that's something I'd look to do, maybe bring him on early on in the second half. Wrexham, they need to pass the ball better. Really good defensively in that first half, but I was looking at some of their numbers. Their pass success rate in that first half, 45%. Wow. That's dreadful. Wow. That is really, really poor. That's why they need to get better quality into the strikers so they can hold it to bring others into play, and then they can build from there. It's been, they haven't been able to really build through the thirds at all, Wrexham, because I think Bolton have pressed the life out of them, and they've disrupted their quality on the ball quite a lot.
I think one of the issues here might be it's the second week of the season. A draw isn't the worst result in the world at this point in time. Maybe Ian Evatt and Bolton will be the ones that feel like they need to take all 3 points and really push for it, but maybe they leave that for the closing stages. Maybe the next 25 minutes, half an hour has a similar feel to it. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think a goal will change everything. I think Wrexham they'll take the point, no doubt about it. They've shown Bolton a lot of respect here, but I do expect, if things change, this game could open up as we kick off.
Back underway with the company of Adrian Clark and Cameron Pope.
Thanks, Q. 0-0 in this one. Bolton against Wrexham, meeting again after a long time away. Back to the 80s you had to go for the last meeting, and well, there were goals in that one. There aren't goals in this one. It needs one, is what Adrian Clark and I were saying at half-time. Plenty of quality in the midfield, just not at either end of the field. And I think that tells you all you need to know so far. Wrexham's pass accuracy, as Adrian said, below 50%. In that first half, you can always trust the man for a good stat. Long ball play forward by Wrexham. Oh, and a shot from the edge of the area by Marriott. Lovely hold-up play by Lee to play him into. Weighted onto his head. Elliot Lee flicks it back, and Jack Marriott, almost a copy of the goal they scored on opening day against Wickham. He rifled that at goal. This one a little bit flatter. And the goalkeeper, Nathan Baxter, had to get down well and parried it away for a corner.
Yeah, it was a stinger, wasn't it? Up and then the nice little layoff, and he spanks it first time. It's a really smart save.
Here comes the corner, whipped in towards the back post. Wrexham attacking, and Cleworth over the bar, and that's exactly the region he scored from against Wickham last Saturday. It was whipped in by Elliot Lee towards the corner of the 6-yard box, and Cleworth, the young centre-back, on it, but couldn't get, a commanding touch, and it fizzled out past the post and is out for a Bolton goal kick. No changes for either team coming into the second half. I'll whistle-stop tour you through the teams. Baxter in goal for Bolton, back three of Toll, captain Santos, and Johnston are going to break off though because the ball's gone through the middle for Dion Charles onto his left foot. Should have done better. He puts it straight at Okonkwo. And a quick fire counter-attack from Bolton Wanderers deserved a better finish. Dion Charles into the penalty area on his left foot. Couldn't put it either side of the goalkeeper, and in the end it was a routine save, I thought.
Could he steady himself? Could he take his time there? Show a little bit more composure? He went for the first time effort left-footed and didn't look comfortable. Straight at the goalie, really. There was quite a lot of the goal to aim for. It's a poor finish. Probably on his weaker side, Dion Charles. Lovely little slip pass though from John McAtee. Excellent. I remember seeing him in the National League playoff final for Grimsby before he got his move to Luton Town. That was a nice piece of play. Put him away. That's the first time they've really got in behind Wrexham all day.
And Wrexham, well, they were up for the corner, never really got back into shape, and all of a sudden Bolton were down the other end and nearly made them pay. And now it's Palmer coming forward for Wrexham. Edge of the penalty area, tried to turn his man and get into the last few yards before the byline, but was stopped by George Johnston. Bolton have cleared their lines, and they've got a free kick for a foul on Sabi Sherm, one of the standout men in white in the first half. Here's that Bolton 11 again then. The Baxter in goal, Toll, skipper Santos, and Johnston the back three. Dakers Cogley and Sherm are the wing backs. Thomason and Sheehan in the centre of midfield. McAtee and Collins, the wide men around Charles up front, who's had that brilliant chance already in this second half. Still 0-0 between Bolton and Wrexham. The Welsh side lining up as they did in the first half. Okonkwo in goal, O'Connor, O'Connell, Cleworth the back three, Revan and McLean playing as the wing backs, Dobson, Cannon, Lee in the centre of the park, Palmer and Marriott up front. It's Bolton trying to attack with the second half. 3.5 minutes old. You're listening to Cameron Pope and Adrian Clark on Talksport 2. Lovely bit of play by Bolton to try and release Sabi Shearn down the left-hand side. Got a cross in. Tackle came in. Referee's got a decision to make, and he goes with the corner kick to Bolton. Now, it was a good tackle from Seb Revan, who closed him down quickly. Thought he'd wrapped it off the shins of the Bolton man. Referee disagreed. Here's a corner kick to the home side.
I think he's been the pick today, Shearn. Really, really bright on the ball. Lovely crisp passing. That was a gorgeous one too. Himself with Aaron Collins just went bang bang, and he's in behind Revan, who to his credit caught up well to block the cross.
Well, a chance for both sides so far in this second half. It's only 4 minutes old. Corner from Bolton towards the front post and met by Palmer, who clears. Got a right foot on the volley away from goal and out for a throw-in. So Bolton have lost 30 yards from the corner. Sheehan, with his orange boots with the ball in hand, goes down the line looking for John McAtee. Tried to cut it back up the line towards the throw-in taker, but Revan got a foot in and clears. Now it's Palmer on halfway. Saw Marriott coming. Now he's over halfway, but with no black shirts of Wrexham around him, has to hold it up. Now whips it out to the right-hand side. Wrexham attacking it. Cannon is scythed down by Ricardo Santos. Well, that was a full-body challenge. We saw a few in the first half, but none as meaty as that, and deservedly Ricardo Santos is given a yellow card. And well, Andy Cannon hasn't moved. He's curled in a heap a few yards shy of the dead ball line. It's going to be a free kick to Wrexham, but Phil Parkinson might be concerned here, because a man who Wrexham fans will tell you was every bit as influential as the likes of Elliot Lee and Paul Mullin last season is down on the turf. He's just hauled himself up gingerly now.
He'll be all right. He doesn't want to miss this free kick. An opportunity to score. He's free actually on the edge of the box as we speak. But yeah, it's miles better from Wrexham. Twice already we've seen the centre forward hold the ball up, knock it back to someone else, and they've gained territory. That was a terrible tackle from Ricardo Santos. Really reckless. Fully deserved that yellow card.
Well, it was nowhere near the ball, and the ball is now in a good position for Wrexham. 20 yards or so, maybe 15 from the dead ball line. Two men in the wall. Crossing opportunity from this free kick. Likes of McLean, Palmer, Marriott in the centre here. Just needs to find one of them. O'Connor to deliver it on the left foot towards the back post. Bad scramble, and Bolton have got it clear. Well, the final touch came from Thomas, and it had to come from him, because there were two black shirts praying, ready to put that ball into the back of the net. And I don't think they would have missed from there either. And George Thomason thumps that one downfield. And well, Bolton living dangerously for a moment there. 51 gone, an even second half, and an even game, 0-0.
Yeah, they're definitely playing with a bit more adventure now, Wrexham, a bit more aggression.
And Andy Cannon, well, has got his home back, and he's thrown a challenge, and this time on Sabi Shearn, who was only an innocent bystander in the incident a few moments ago, but he's taken one for the team. Meanwhile, Phil Parkinson is lunging out of his technical area to add some expertise from the bench. It might just take one moment, this game. At the moment, it is goalless. It's Wrexham. Well, that's the pass accuracy for you. There was a moment for George Dobson to pick a ball, and he's put it straight out of play and given Bolton a throw in halfway inside the Wrexham half.
Yeah, they do hurry you, Ian Everett's side. They really get in your face, and that's why their playoff performance was so out of character. It's so limp. You know, this is what they're like. You know, when they lose it, they hunt it back quickly, and they're hard to play against.
Never a moment's respite for Wrexham. Bolton coming forward again, just inside their opponent's half. It's Shearn wide left with the pink boots, plays it back towards the blue boots of Johnston on halfway. Now Sheehan in a slightly more advanced role. Wrexham, as we saw so many times in the first period, 10 men behind the ball, trying to absorb this pressure. No goals so far on Talksport 2. Palmer's won it back for Wrexham, but in floating a ball downfield looking for Marriott, he's only played it into Ricardo Santos, who moved quickly, and Bolton have it with Sheehan on halfway. One of the favourites for promotion coming forward, one of the outsiders defending. Out it is with McAtee, 30 yards out for Bolton. Up towards Dacres Cogley, corner of the area. McAtee again, back towards Thomason, the more central role. Turns away from Dobson. Men on the right hand side, Dacres Cogley with a cross, but he mishit it, and he spears it behind for a dead ball. Mocking jeers from the other end of the ground from the Wrexham fans, who are in full voice. They won't mind the scoreline one bit. 53 gone, Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
Yeah, all that quality build-up, only for Dacres Cogley to balloon his cross 20 yards over here behind the goal. I used to be a winger, and you'd be so embarrassed at moments like that, because it's your trade, it's your bread and butter. You put good balls into the box, and he can, Dacus Cogley, but that was a 1 out of 10 effort.
Well, he was in the League One team of the season, one of 2 Bolton players, along with Josh Sheehan. As Josh Dacus Cogley and his teammates have got it back again. McAtee centre circle bursting forward. Now he's got more options. Cross comes in from the left-hand side, and it's an equally bad one. This time from Aaron Collins, and he's smacked it out for a throw-in this time on the other side of the pitch. 3 white shirts to aim for, got it nowhere near any of them. It's going to remain 0-0, and with passes like that, it will remain 0-0 for some time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll give that 1.5 out of 10. It was pretty dreadful.
I'm liking this arbitrary scoring mechanism. It's like breaking at the Olympics, isn't it? Really, to just call his final, but not much quality for you to judge that.
But I'll tell you who has been better at the start of the second half. That's McAtee. They've signed from Luton. He's picked up the ball in the central sort of number 10 role on a couple of occasions, and he's made good contributions. He's knitting the midfield with the attack.
0-0 here, 10 gone in the second half, not much happening. Let's go to the Rugby League with Craig Murdoch.
Well, it's 0-0 here also, but there's been lots happening. Chances at either end for Hull KR and the Catalan Dragons. Hull KR win will see them go back to the top of the Super League, but they're certainly not having it all their own way early on. No score here, Catalan and Hull KR.
As it is, goalless here, thank you Craig, and the Rugby League will follow on from this with second half commentary of Catalan versus Hull Kingston Rovers, Huddersfield versus Castleford from 6:30pm. You're listening to Talksport 2, Cameron Pope and Adrian Clark as Thomason plays one through the middle for Bolton. This is better, Charles with his head up, tried to play a pass into the penalty area, and Cleworth was trying to jockey it to his goalkeeper, and Okonkwo was a little tardy in coming off his line. There was panic on the face of the young defender, but the goalkeeper got out quickly enough in the end under pressure from Dion Charles, and picks up to keep the score 0-0. All the Wrexham fans are on their feet. They've got the whole of the top tier at the south end of the ground, half of the bottom tier, and to a man, woman and child, they are standing and they are singing, and their side have now got a throw-in right in front of them, 15 yards from the corner flag. Still goalless. 55 and a half minutes played at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Revan with the 1-2 with the throw-in. Finds it back at his feet, but with little option in going forward. Has to go back beyond halfway into his own half. It'll be O'Connor receiving from O'Connell. Bit of a curse for a commentator having those two next to each other at centre half, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough.
Owen O'Connell and Tom O'Connor.
I think you've done well so far, Cam.
Thank you very much. I don't say that. I've got another 40 minutes to go. Still goalless as Sheehan comes into the centre circle. Trying to turn onto his right foot. Quick 1-2 himself now. Now to Thomason, 35 yards out, plays through the middle, 18-yard box, Charles with the turn, and nearly Charles with the finish, but for a brilliant save from Arthur Okonkwo. Well, we need something, a bit of spark in the attacking areas of the pitch. Dion Charles almost had it there. He turned, he spun, he shot, and a lovely save by the Wrexham man. Out for a corner it is. Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
Oh, that was a magnificent save from Arthur Okonkwo. Full stretch, lovely little swivel on the edge of the box from Dion Charles. He's curled it towards the top corner. I thought the net was about to bulge. Somehow he's clawed it away with his left hand. Brilliant from the Wrexham keeper.
Not over yet though, the danger. Here comes the Bolton corner, whipped in towards the front post where Ollie Palmer meets it. Revan doesn't help his side with his header on the edge of the penalty area though. He's conceded a Bolton throw-in, only 30 yards from the corner flag or so. It's going to be taken by Aaron Collins. Those Wrexham fans, they're loud, aren't they? You can hear the noise emanating all the way down to our commentary position. I hope it's coming through back home to you, just how loud they are. They've got a lot of new trips fans this season.
Oh, they'll be loving it, won't they, the Wrexham fans?
And why not? It's great to see.
This, you know, it hasn't been this good for decades at Wrexham.
Absolute decades.
So absolutely, you know, enjoy the ride, because it's going to be an incredible ride. It's not going to stop here, that is for sure. And I think they're proud of their team today, because they're up against a top quality League One outfit, and they're holding their own.
Forward comes George Johnston of Bolton into Sheehan, 20 yards outside the perimeter of the Wrexham penalty area. Now Toll out to the right hand side with Dacus Cogley, now the corner of the penalty area. Thomason now on his right foot, back to Dacus Cogley, needs a better cross this time. Going to go the more central route with Collins, who tried to set up Sheehan. Rides the challenge from Palmer, still in a central berth. 30 yards out from Okonkwo's goal. Goalless at the Tough Sheet. Here comes Sabi Shern. Corner of the penalty area this time, down the Bolton left. Cut back and a cross was swinging in from George Johnston. Evaded everybody in the penalty area. Out for a goal kick, but asking the right questions. Those final balls still lacking though in this second half. 58 gone, Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
I didn't mind that cross from George Johnson. It was the right idea. It was put into a good area. What I'd like to have seen was a McAtee or a Collins look to just gamble on the run. I was at the game, the Millwall-Watford game, where Rajovic just gambled just in case the ball fell to him. That's what Bolton need to do a little bit more of. It's all been in front of Wrexham. More runners in beyond, just chancing their arm.
Wrexham fans are continuing their chorus away to our right, and it's just part of the story that I think is lost. There's talk of Hollywood and the multi-millionaire owners and Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, but that is a community club that is enjoying itself in the sunshine at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Their players, though, have it at the opposite end of the pitch in the defensive zone. Flicked forward by captain James McLean. Towards halfway with Elliot Lee, chested into the path of Dobson, whose pass was in turn straight at Bolton's John McAtee, who couldn't control it. Out for a throw into Wrexham it goes. And there have been moments where the game has lulled, and it's looked like it's looked like a lower league contest at times, and then at times it's looked like a battle, certainly on Bolton's part, of promotion contenders. And they had, the better share of chances of possession of territory in the first half, nothing to show for it though. And with the hour approaching, it is still goalless in this one. Wrexham will not mind that at all. Their first proper test against what some will say is a promotion rival, what most will say is a promotion favourite. They managed to outlast Wycombe Wanderers, who came alive in the second half. Can Wrexham themselves come alive this weekend in Greater Manchester as Okonkwo plays long downfield? Elliot Lee's got the second ball. He's 35 yards out from Baxter's goal. Got McLean over his left shoulder. Going to go on his right foot and shoots, and just over the bar it goes. Well, there was no touch from the goalkeeper in the end, but Baxter was flailing towards it because Elliot Lee, you could see him shaping for the shot. He moved it onto his right foot, had that little pocket of space, drilled it at goal, wasn't far away.
That was a good effort. I don't know what the Bolton defenders were doing. They stood on the edge of their own box. No one really went to close Elliot Lee down, and that's dangerous because this is a guy that scores goals for fun. So, yeah, that was it was well worth a pot shot from distance, but in truth, it never felt like it was going to dip underneath the crossbar. 16 goals in the league last season for Elliot Lee, albeit at a lower level. Promoted side coming forward, and Marriott's got it. Edge of the penalty area, tries to turn away from Sheehan, finds himself blocked off. Now can Bolton manage a counter-attack? Thomason halfway inside his own half, and this time it is Wrexham who get the press in. Cannon who did it, and they will limit Bolton to possession midway inside their own half. 61 now on the stadium clock in the corner of the Tough Sheet, and it reads Bolton 0, Wrexham 0. And even the Wrexham fans are starting to fall quieter now. The nerves are going to be increasing as we head into the twilight of this game. Bolton wanted to get it done in 90 minutes on Tuesday against Mansfield. They were brought into a penalty shootout. Mansfield had chances to win it towards the end of that game. Penalty heroics from the substitute goalkeeper Luke Southwood. Well, normally substitute, but Ian Evatt doesn't put a substitute goalkeeper on his bench, so he's not in the side at all today. He's on the pitch though and managing in this 0-0. Yeah, that is interesting. There's not many managers that resist that urge to just that safety net of having a keeper.
Well, here come Bolton down the other end. They're going now. Through from Collins towards the run of McAtee, up by the byline, gets the cross in, and the feet of Owen O'Connell were in a tangle, but he gets one of them to it in the end, and he squares it out for a throw-in far side the Bolton right. Remains 0-0. Wanderers on the attack.
Yeah, the front three have had better moments, haven't they, at the start of this second half? All of them have been involved. Charles has had that great shot. Collins has had an effort as well. I've already talked about how McAtee is getting into some great areas.
Bolton are on the attack. We'll give you news of a try in the Rugby League very soon. A flying cross from McAtee comes into the area, and it flies straight into the hands of Arthur Okonkwo. It's Bolton 0, Wrexham 0 on Talksport 2. Let's check in on Catalan versus Hull KR with Craig Murdoch.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hull KR's flight to get back of top of Super League is going well. They scored the first try of the game on 14 minutes. Super play back down the right-hand side by Petter Hiku. The next play was a really good offload by Jai Whitbread. On his shoulder was Minchella, the club skipper. He scores just to the right of the post. Mikey Lewis will be disappointed he didn't have the conversion, but it's Hull KR who lead. It's Hull KR 4, Catalan Dragons 0.
So all action, Catalan versus Hull KR. You can listen to commentary of that continue following this game as Wrexham cross one in, far side there right. Offside flag has gone up against Palmer. Remains 0-0 here in Bolton, or in Horwich, just outside Bolton to be more accurate. A stadium that, well, it sprung up in the 90s, and it was, I understand, it was pretty futuristic when it was built, and what it lacks in maybe character that the old Burnden ground had in the day, well, it makes up for in design, I think we can say, and in atmosphere today.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere. When you get a big crowd like we've got today, it is atmospheric, and I think it's different to a lot of modern stadiums. I'm just thinking about the managers. Surely they're going to turn to the benches soon. A lot of quality down there. Adebayo for Bolton for sure. Dempsey as well as an option, and you look at Wrexham, you got the Ollie Rathbone, big money signing, and also of course Stephen Fletcher, who's already scored this season.
Well, a cheer for Ricardo Santos there, who turned between two Wrexham black shirts as Marriott and Palmer, the attackers, tried to put the centre half under pressure. Man on a yellow card, but he's not sweating it. He's enjoying his football. The Bolton skipper. However, they'll enjoy it more if they can find a goal, because this one's still 0-0 on Talksport 2. Cameron Pope and Adrian Clark on commentary for you. Seb Evans trying to get away down the right-hand side. His shirt was definitely pulled there, and he's then hacked down for good measure by Sabi Shern. That has got to be a yellow card. In fact, it's already out of the pocket of Ben Speedy, and the Hungarian is trying to put distance between himself and the scene of the crime. He's not going to avoid this yellow card. You try that one, Adrian, and you don't. Did it ever work?
No, they never forget. I would definitely have tried it, I'm sure, just to try and hide. But that was the most blatant foul I think I've ever seen.
First a shirt pull, that wasn't enough. Then he went to hack him down, and
it was. It's a good battle actually between the two number 23s, Revan and Savi Shern. I think Shern has edged that battle, but two decent players.
And the referee is just setting up where this free kick should be taken, 40 yards from the corner flag. It's Wrexham on the attack, tight to the right-hand touchline, still 0-0. High line from Bolton Wanderers, standing over it, O'Connor and Lee. It's Sheehan and Charles in the wall for Bolton Wanderers, but where this free kick is, I don't think the wall will have too much to do here. This is heading for the penalty area, and it is from the boot of Lee, up towards the 18-yard box. Defensive flick was backwards, and a shot at goal from McLean, and it was always rising, but it looked good, and it didn't have the dip that it needed. It flies over the crossbar of Nathan Baxter. More attacking intent, notably in this second half from Wrexham, but it remains 66 minutes gone, Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
Miles more ambition from Wrexham, and they're a better team for it. They've got good attacking players, so they probably showed a little bit too much respect to Bolton in the first half. That would have been a worldie. I think you have to say that. It comes at James McLean really quickly, and he lashes it first time, catches it sweet, but it was always rising, that volley.
James McLean, though, new captain, he's 35 years old, in from Wigan last season, new deal, and he can still certainly do a job, can't he?
Well, yeah, absolutely he can. When you got a left foot as good as his, it's worth its weight in gold, really. And he's a good pro. He divides opinion, but he's in terms of his attitude, some of the things he says and does. But on the pitch, he doesn't let you down.
He's the sort of player you'd love to have in your side.
Very reliable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very reliable. And Phil Parkinson, I think, is a good judge of players. And that's part of the reason why Wrexham have done so well, so consistently, because he's spent the owner's money smartly.
He has. Well, Phil Parkinson, the last man, in fact, to take Bolton out of League One, back at his old parish. Don't think he reckoned on becoming, I don't think it's exaggerating to say he's one of the most famous football managers in the world now, but still goes about his business in the same way. Wrexham coming forward down the right, Revan with a cross. Did he get there in time before the byline? I thought yes, but the assistant referee, he's flagged for a goal kick. So Bolton will have a restart. It seemed to take an age for Wrexham to take their throw-in down the right-hand side, but when they did take it, they took it well. However, we're into now the final quarter of this game. Still no goals. That's the one thing that we're lacking. We've had big tackles, we've had decent efforts, we've had good saves too. But so far, nobody has broken through.
Okonkwo has made the two best saves of the game. No doubt about that. He's really showed his athleticism. On Wrexham, by the way, and the pressure and the fan base, Hugh was telling me the other night at Luton that is it CBS or one of the big American networks are showing more Wrexham games live than Leeds this season.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that is a good barometer as well.
Yeah, they there is a big interest in the United States around Wrexham. They've got a whole new fan base.
Well, they have. And they took on Chelsea and the top teams on their pre-season tour of North America. They were smarter about their business, less travelling this time, and they've taken a free kick quickly, but too quickly because Marriott is offside. That could have been an opportunity for the black-shirted away team, but again, twice in a row now, offsides have killed off a potential for a Wrexham chance. And, well, chances for them have been at a premium, you might say. A couple of chances in this second half over the bar from Elliot Lee and from James McLean. But we're going back to Phil Parkinson after a 2-2 draw, I think it was, with a Chelsea side in the North American pre-season tour. He was very proud of the way his side stood up and fought, but they're having to fight here. They're defending now. Bolton coming forward down the right-hand side, and Tom O'Connor's flown into a challenge. It's been flagged as a free kick, and there might be a card in it for him as well. Well, referee's waltzing over. Yellow card brandish for Tom O'Connor, the Irishman, into the book. But more saliently, Adrian Clark, a good chance from a free kick here for Bolton.
Yeah, really good chance. Yeah, it's a good strong break down the right-hand side. Was it Collins, I think, skipped past his man, and he's upended. And yes, this is it's like a short corner in hockey almost. It's quite close to the byline, and yeah, get the delivery right here, and Bolton could be in business.
Well, I went to see the hockey at the Olympics in Paris this summer, and it's it rivals this game for physicality and brutality. There was some massive hit in that. I think it was Netherlands and Belgium I saw. Brutal hits. And this one has been rather similar. Free kick to Bolton then. We're going to go to the Rugby League very shortly after this chance. Sheehan, one of the options standing over it, right-hand edge of the Wrexham penalty area. Bolton attacking. Two-man wall consisting of Lee and McLean. Arms behind the back inside the penalty area for Wrexham. We're at 0-0 and we're just reaching the 70-minute mark. Chance here for Bolton Wanderers, of which there have been fewer in the second half, and it comes in along the ground, hits Revan, goes out for a corner. So quickly to the Rugby League, Craig Murdoch.
Yeah, thank you very much. We did a couple of tries since you were last with us. Rovers were 4-0 up. Catalan hit back with Sirenen on 20 minutes. Again, the conversion hit the post. It was from wide out this time, but just as you've joined us, Rovers have put themselves back in front with their next set with the ball. It's Petter Hick who scored, kick to come, Tulkia 8, Catalan 4.
From Bolton door towards the back post and a clearance off the line. I think it was Cleworth who got that. A second header is over the bar from Santos. And they've given a goal kick, the officiating team. Bodies strewn everywhere from Wrexham in the 6-yard box, and a sheer effort to keep that out. It was just as you came back to us, the corner swung in towards the back post, flick headed back across goal, and then Cleworth got onto the line, flicked it straight up in the air, second header over the bar, closest Bolton have come in a while.
Yeah, they rode their luck there, the Welshmen. Excellent defending from Cleworth on the line as they make a substitution.
Yeah, it's Stephen Fletcher's coming on for Ollie Palmer, so a like-for-like swap and two attackers. There's going to be a swap and an attacking swap for Bolton Wanderers as well. I can see Victor Adebayojo, who scored off the bench in the opening game of the season, prepped to come on alongside Kyle Dempsey, a central midfielder, and he's going to make his return from a knee injury. Didn't get any action in pre-season. Good to see him back. And he is going to replace Aaron Collins, who comes off with 71 minutes on the clock. So Dempsey on for the remainder with this game locked at 0-0. Two sights of goal for the Welshman Aaron Collins. Also coming off Dion Charles, and he's gone close as well. Had a looping effort in the first half that landed on the roof of the net and then forced a brilliant save out of Okonkwo just into the second half. Fingertip stop from the Wrexham goalkeeper. Well, Victor Adebayojo
he was unlucky
in his place.
He was unlucky, wasn't he? It was a great effort. Best we've seen all afternoon. Adebayojo will offer more physicality. He's a bigger guy, big and strong and powerful. I mean, it's a sign of respect towards Wrexham that he hasn't gone with two up top.
Elliot Lee's heading it into the path of Marriott and couldn't quite get onto the end of it. Santos with the clearance. McLean forward, he comes into the attacking third. Booze all around him, but unheeded, he picks out Revan. Corner of the area, left with the ball. Oh, almost sneaked into the path of Fletcher at the front post. Half cleared by Bolton. Scramble with Dobson on the edge of the penalty area. Gets there first. Potential head injury. This might have to stop here. Into the penalty area it goes for Cannon, who drills it long across the ground. Corner it is. And it was Sheehan who was down in back play for Bolton. Edge of his area. And I think now he's realised that there's defending to do. He's sprung back up to his feet. Referee made a big call there to allow play to continue, and it's resulted in a Wrexham corner at 0-0.
Yeah, there was shouts for handball actually from the substitute. Kyle Dempsey slid in to make that block. It did hit his arm, but completely accidental.
Well, they've tightened up on those, haven't they, that rule in pre-season. Here comes the corner from the right-hand side for Wrexham. It's a defensive man, into the 18-yard box it goes. Bolton will come away with it now. Thomason juggling the ball. Snapped away from his ankles, though, by McLean. And now Cannon trying to bring in his captain down the right-hand side, and it was a nice little ball down the line that sprung up off a defender. And George Johnston had to react quickly to keep it alive and prevent the corner. Just a throw into Wrexham then, who look reborn in this closing chapter of the game. 73 gone, still 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, well, their away fans really noisy. They're driving the team on, aren't they? I think they're saying, well, yeah, we're pleased with how you're playing, but come on, give us a goal. You can win this. They're giving the players belief, I think, with their support.
And if they get a goal, it'll come right in front of the travelling support. Revan with a cross, but it took a deflection off the defender and is straight into the hands of Baxter. So a moment of respite for Bolton Wanderers. Didn't need too many of those in the first half. They controlled the game, Ian Everett's side. Nothing to show for it at the break, though. Much more even in this second half. Though still the best chances have gone to the home team. Dempsey with a turn. 10 yards inside the Wrexham half. He plays it out to the left-hand side. Wanderers attacking. Here it is at the feet of Schön. Crossing towards the back post. And Adebayojo was up there, but not as quickly as Arthur Okonkwo. And Wrexham's fluorescent yellow-clad goalkeeper springs into action and takes the sting out of that one. Final quarter of an hour coming up now on Talksport 2. Still no goals. It might just take the one to win it, and I think we've thought that for quite a while, Adrian.
Yeah. Well, I thought at the start of the second half both teams came out with far more attacking intent, ambition, particularly Wrexham, and it made it a better game. And you thought that they were renewed energy. They had that breather at half time, and they really came out firing. Now the game's fallen into a bit of a deadlock again, a little bit like it did in the first half. But what I will say is that Wrexham aren't just settling for a point here. Where possible, they are looking to get into the final third and to nick what would be a massive win for them if they can steal it.
Oh, they would raise the roof here with a goal, and they've got to throw in 30 yards from the corner flag, but there's a slip from Andy Cannon, who thought that he'd won a deflection and therefore a corner. Assistant referee disagreed with him, and we're going to have another change for Bolton Wanderers. So this time coming on, it's going to be Jordi Osei-Tutu, one of the new men. He's going to replace Josh Dacres Cogley. So a like-for-like swap at right wing back, you'd imagine. He got his full debut on Tuesday against Mansfield in the Carabao Cup. He came on for the final 20 minutes on opening day. He gets 15 minutes today. And joining him, a man of experience, one who dropped out of the starting 11 for this game, Scott Arfield. He is going to replace John McAtee, who gets a big reception as he comes off to the side of the field. And so Scott Arfield will come on for the remaining quarter of an hour. What do you make of those changes, Adrian?
Yeah, look, understandable. You know, Arfield's a really experienced player. I think he could be a really good signing for Bolton. Obviously been playing in America, but did a good job for Rangers for a number of years. I'll say Tutu, I remember, I think he was at Arsenal as a young player. And he's been over and played in Germany, and he's ready for this level now.
Here's Thomason, 30 yards out for Bolton, tries to slip a ball straight down the line towards Jordi Osei-Tutu, and the former Bochum man was just half a yard behind the pace of that ball, and out for a goal kick to Wrexham it goes. Still 0-0. Talksport 2 you're listening to. Stick with us for coverage of Super League's Magic Weekend after this. Catalan versus Hull KR. Second half commentary will follow on with Craig Murdoch. Huddersfield versus Castleford is after that. Tomorrow night, a Talksport exclusive Premier League commentary of Leicester versus Tottenham from 8 p.m. with Sam Matterface, Danny Murphy and Mark Albrighton. And then don't forget, next Friday the Championship is back. Talksport 2 commentary. Sheffield Wednesday versus Leeds, a massive game for both of those Yorkshire sides. In this game, there are 13 minutes remaining. We're still waiting for the one goal that might decide it. Adebayojo trying to flick on Dempsey's ball. Does flick it on, but only to the Wrexham goalkeeper. And the pace has ebbed again out of this one. Okonkwo will roll the ball around at his feet. Some mild pressure from Adebayojo, so he'll pick it up now. And it remains to be seen which way, if either way, this game's going to go.
Yeah, look, you look at the numbers, it's, Bolton deserved the win. 10 shots, 8 on target. A couple of those have been fantastic saves. Most have been fairly routine for Okonkwo. You look at Wrexham's output, just the 5 shots, only 1 on target. Certainly Nathan Baxter has had a much quieter afternoon. So look, if anyone's going to win this, it probably should be Bolton, but that's not how it feels watching it. It feels like anything can happen here.
And a ball through the middle could have gone either way there for Elliot Lee. He got a toe on it trying to poke it into the path of Stephen Fletcher, but it was well read by the Bolton defence. And Baxter clears towards Arfield, who had a moment to get a pass away there to Adebayojo, but was closed down by Elliot Lee. Forward it comes from Andy Cannon, flicks it down the Wrexham right channel. Now it's Revan, 15 yards from the corner flag, attacking his fullback into the penalty area. Revan on the left foot and bends it towards the far post, but he never really caught it there, Seb Revan. He sat on the turf, his hands on his knees. Thinks it could have been better. The move was brilliant, the finish just lacking, but brilliant endeavour by the young man, new signing. And out for a goal kick.
Great run. Yeah, opened up beautifully for him. I'll tell you what, George Johnson, the left side centre back, he did brilliantly because he charged at him. He put his body on the line, was about to take one right in the face. He didn't care, but it was enough to just put off Seb Revan, who blazed high and wide in the end from a really good position. So excellent defending from the Bolton man.
Jack Marriott's coming off for Wrexham. No goal of the season contender for him today after his stunner against Wycombe on the opening weekend. On in his place is Ollie Rathbone, signed for a club record fee a day before the season started from Rotherham. He won this division with the Millers in 2022, and so it's a striker for a central midfielder.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, Rathbone's gone into a very advanced position, but I sense he'll play as number 10. So it'll be more of a, instead of it being a 5-3-2, it'll be more of a 5-3-1-1 in the closing stages. That's an indication, I suppose, that Phil Parkinson will take the point here.
Well, we said, weren't we, that they were gunning for a win, and maybe that sensibility talking there, accepting that coming to Bolton Wanderers, who everybody expects to be up there again, twice in the playoffs in recent seasons, losing finalist last season, Wrexham's first proper test against a side you'd think would be up there, and I think a draw means they've passed it, particularly after the first half we saw.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, in a way they've ridden their luck at times, but I wouldn't begrudge them a point if that's what they take back to North Wales tonight. They've worked really hard as a team. They've showed grit and resilience and fight. You know, the ball has been popped around. You know, done a lot of chasing here today, but they've stuck together as a group.
Well, Wrexham are having to defend now. Football in a library is their chance from the away fans, but, well, they could be silenced themselves in a minute because Thomason, edge of the attacking third for Bolton, out wide right towards Osei Tutu, turns away from Elliot Lee, now brings the fight towards the byline against James McLean, who shows his experience there, gets a leg across the former Arsenal trainee and sends him out for a dead ball. So 0-0, 81st minute of the game. Wrexham fans still singing they think they're taking a point home. There's going to be another change for Bolton, the final change, and it's going to be a Sunderland loanee, Jay Matete. Brilliant win for the Black Cats earlier on against Sheffield Wednesday at the Stadium of Light. That was on Talksport 2 for you as well. And Jay Matete is going to come on for Josh Sheehan. The man who plays in the centre of the park will be replaced by another who does. And Matete is going to get 9 minutes plus added time with the score at 0-0.
Yeah, Matete had good reviews, didn't he, at Sunderland for a while. I know a lot of Black Cats fans really liked him and wanted to see more of him, but new manager Regis Lebris has gone with other players, so here he is at Bolton. I think, again, it's a decent acquisition. It's going to be hard to break in with Sheehan and Thomason and Dempsey, but he is a good player in his own right. Quite a steely midfielder.
And Revan has got a throw in for Wrexham, 45 yards out. The response from the Bolton fans to the earlier library chant from the Wrexham faithful has been met with jeers from the away end, having finally roused the Bolton support, who might be feeling the nerves now. 82 gone, still 0-0 on Talksport 2 as Baxter clears out for a Wrexham throw-in on halfway. He really sliced it, the Bolton goalkeeper. That too is jeered by those who've travelled from North Wales and surrounding areas. Still goalless, still without that moment of magic that might decide this. Wrexham have still got changes they can make. Bolton have exhausted all of theirs. Here's one of them, Adebayojo, trying to turn between two black-shirted defenders on halfway. Feeds it ahead of Dempsey, who misread the flight of the ball. And by the time he'd worked out his bearings, Revan had taken it off him. And actually gets a touch off Dempsey as he clears it down the line. It's going to be a Wrexham throw just shy of halfway.
Yeah, one last push. That's the message from Phil Parkinson. You see in the gesture he made there. Come on, boys, just dig in. He knows this has been a really tough game. But yeah, just looking at the numbers in terms of late goals last season, 18 goals from Wrexham inside the final 15 minutes of matches. He's more than anyone else managed last season. They're kind of specialists at this business end of games. So yeah, wouldn't surprise me if they snatch something here.
I wish you all could see the graphs I'm seeing on Adrian Clark's laptop screen now. You can always trust him to bring a good stat into the mix. You can't trust him to dress for the weather. This man's wearing shorts, basically on the gantry at Bolton, which is not something I would recommend, even in August.
It was really warm when I left, and I just thought, well, it's the summer, this is August, I only need shorts. But yeah, it was a bad call.
Oh, it's like a wind tunnel up here. Anyway, 25,957 is the gate. That's a massive crowd for the third tier, whichever way you look at it. We were told about 3,500 from Wrexham. And to say that they've been out of the Premier League for some time, well, the supporters are still firmly connected. Well, to these two football clubs, actually. However, 6 minutes still to go. Wrexham taking a free kick on halfway forward up towards Fletcher. Nods it down. Cannon, shooting position 20 yards out. Now Revan on his right foot, turns to his left, gets a cross in towards the back post. Santos heads it clear. James McLean, can he shoot? Left edge of the penalty area. Takes it down towards the byline. I'll say 2-2 gets a block in. Still danger here though from Wrexham. They've got it on the edge of the penalty area and it's given away by Tom O'Connor. We'll have to clear it all the way downfield and Wrexham start again. Let's quickly go to Craig Murdoch with an update from the Rugby League.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go to half-time here, and Rovers have scored their third try of the afternoon. Minchella, Hiku and Hall with the one just before the break. One against Catalan for Siranen. Just we approach half-time, it's OKR 12, Catalan 4.
And second half commentary with Craig will be available after the conclusion of this game, which is around 5 minutes plus added time away. As Wrexham have a throw in, they were looking up to get more actually. It rolled off the corner flag and the wrong side from an attacking perspective. It's Revan who will take it in front of raucous Wrexham support. 0-0. You're listening to Talksport 2. It's taken short towards Cannon, who tries to roll inside and play into the path of Rathbone, and a corner kick is given after a discussion between the referee and the assistant referee. And Bolton fans behind the goal are the happier after that call. So, right at the business end of the game, and it's going to be Tom O'Connor who rocks over to the near side Wrexham right to take it. And we normally in the first half, Adrian, we saw the black shirts of the away side crowd around the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. They've changed it up. They're around the penalty spot now.
Yeah, all man-to-man marked. So yeah, can one of them escape the attentions of their marker here?
O'Connor's corner, left foot, in-swinger towards the front post. Defensive header away, Harfield it was. Back to the corner taker, flung in on the left foot, not the best ball, only half cleared. Back into the penalty area, O'Connell swiping it across the face of goal, but it hit two defenders, and the last of them, Dempsey's taken it away, and he's beaten two men, and he's got it to halfway, and now there's a counter on for Bolton. Forward they come down the left-hand side. Can they move this into an attacking area? Matete got it held up for a second, down the line it goes now. Could there be a cross at the end of this? Up to the byline, whip back towards the edge of the penalty area where Thomason was waiting. Header from Dobson got it away. All queuing up to have a shot here. Nobody can get boot on ball for Bolton, and Wrexham will clear it downfield where Baxter is going to start again for Bolton Wanderers. There's life in this game again. Verve with 3.5 minutes to go. Still no goals. Plenty of excitement and still plenty of time. Matete through the middle for Bolton Wanderers. Only meets resistance. Up towards halfway for Wrexham now. Held up by Rathbone, who, as Adrian said, has come into that number 10 sort of role. He flicks it off the shins of Thomason, who campaigns in vain for his own throw-in. And it is going to be a Wrexham ball halfway inside the Bolton half. Some of the Bolton fans around us are making for the exit, which I cannot believe at 0-0 at 87 minutes.
I know, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday. Where is she going to be? You know, no, you've got to stick around here. There could be a late twist. I mean, if Bolton don't get the goal, you know, it will show that there's work to do for them. You know, as a team, they've been a bit samey today. Haven't been able to go through the gears, Bolton.
Nothing's come from the throw-in though. Revan had to play it backwards. It has come to Fletcher, 30 yards out, who drills a shot that wasn't held by Baxter. But it comes to his defender, Toll, who just calms him down for a moment and invites his goalkeeper to come and collect. It was straight down the middle from Fletcher, but still an awkward height for the goalkeeper. and parried away, then collected by Nathan Baxter as this game remains 0-0 in the 88th minute.
Yeah, it was a lash, wasn't it? Left foot on the volley, really lashed it. It's a skimmer off the grass. I actually felt the goalkeeper Baxter did pretty well. Soft hands.
Oh, Dempsey split this one down for Adebayo down the other end now. Played out to the left-hand side. Bolton attacking. Adebayo will have it back on the edge of the penalty area. Ran into Dobson. Only half cleared. Second ball from Shern might come in. He's been everywhere. Back to Thomason. Deflected shot, and Okonkwo was there to meet it. It was going wide anyway. Home fans are saying he took it out of play. His feet were out to play the ball. Certainly wasn't. And we will continue with the ball in the hands of the Wrexham goalkeeper. More chances, still no goals.
Yeah, still no goals. It's been an absorbing watch. Like, we want more chances, we want goals. But yeah, this sort of clash of styles has led to some kind of stalemate. But I still think they're two very well coached teams. Bolton are coached to play, a very attractive style of football. They've come up short creatively today. Wrexham are very much about organisation and teamwork and the collective, and that has worked for them.
Well, Phil Parkinson stands, hands on hips, with his assistant Steve Parkin in his technical area, knowing that his planning might come to fruition in a couple of minutes' time. They are prepping a change. George Evans is going to come on for the closing period. And as we move into the 90th minute, Bolton on the ball inside their own half, however. Santos 20 yards in it, in fact, and out towards Toll, the right-hand side. Now Osei Tutu, far side the Bolton right, trying to encroach on the attacking third, ran into a trio of Wrexham men, and it's cleared towards halfway where they'll start again. Matete, Sunderland Loney coming through the middle now. Dobson blocks his path to goal off, forced to go out to the left-hand side. Now Dempsey. Shern might be in space for a cross. It's Dempsey going more central though. Right foot 30 yards out, played it along the ground, and Owen O'Connell was there. Clears it away, up to halfway, but still no let-off for Wrexham, because Bolton kept it alive only for a moment, however, as Stephen Fletcher was in the way of Ricardo Santos. Wanted a quick free kick. Wrexham are queuing a substitution though, and so it will have to wait. Elliot Lee is the man who will be replaced. And for the final minutes, George Evans comes on then, signed in September of last season. Got a new deal for a couple of years in the summer. Very popular last season. Can he aid Wrexham's attempt to close this one out? It's going to be the final change of the night. Elliot Lee off, George Evans on for Wrexham, 0-0.
Yeah, and the official, or the fourth official, just put up the board 3 minutes of added time.
They've cut down, haven't they, on added time, in the way that, well, namely in the way that goals are and wasted time is calculated. We haven't had any of those, so that doesn't count. It's mainly been substitutions. So 3 minutes, ball through the middle towards Dempsey for Bolton. 30 yards out, Adebayo trying to find the first goal of the game. Into the penalty area he comes, but it was a heavy touch. It cannon back off him, and Okonkwo comes out, and he's hurt here, Okonkwo, or he's making as if he is. The referee has come across and just told him to get to his feet. I think he spied a little bit of gamesmanship there. And Okonkwo is back at his full imposing height and kicks out right-footed on the fly over halfway up towards Fletcher, who lost his footing as he tried to head away from Shern. Gives it back to Matete just inside the Bolton half, 0-0. Trying to get away from Cannon, who fouls him. Could be a yellow card coming for the Wrexham man. Referees just allow play to continue though from a quick free kick. So that would suggest otherwise. Toll out to the right-hand side for Bolton. I'll say 2-2 halfway inside the Bolton half, the Wrexham half. Arfield was down the line for it, gives it him back. I'll say 2-2 still, but forced away from goal. Half of added time has already elapsed. We might have more added on for the substitution though. Out it comes to the left-hand side. Possible crossing opportunity for Johnston. Down the line for Shern. Got a cross in. It hit Revan. And it goes behind for a Bolton corner. And the home fans like that. Chances have been fewer and further between for Bolton in particular as this second half has worn on. But they've got a chance now from the corner to find a way to goal. 1 minute of the added time remaining. In it comes, in swinger towards the back post. Oh, there was definitely a shirt pull in there, missed by the referee, headed away by Wrexham. I think that Owen O'Connell was holding the shirt of Osei Tutu. Away come Wrexham though, and now they've got a counter, and there's a man in the centre, but Revan can't find him. It was George Dobson, not the man you'd expect to see herring into the penalty area. The ball was weak though. We've still got 40 seconds of added time to play. Here comes Arfield now, 45 yards out from goal for Bolton. He stood stock still. Home fans want him to move. White shirts coming forward. Thomason trying to cut in field. Matete loses in his feet for the moment. Fletcher putting pressure on. Bolton recycle the ball. Toll really into the closing stages now on Talksport 2. Still goalless. Owen Toll again. Just inside the Wrexham half. Everybody in the Wrexham shirt, unsurprisingly, behind the ball. They will be happy with a point. Osley Tutu around the outside of James McLean. He has failed, and that's going to be a free kick, and likely the last play of the game, Adrian Clark.
This is going to definitely be the last play of the game. A little bit too patient, Bolton, there for my liking, and for the crowds. They were getting really frustrated. They kind of do have one way of playing, and that's it, Bolton. You know, they haven't gone to a back four. They haven't chucked two up front. It's all the same. And even the tempo, despite it being injury time, was very, very similar. But look, they got one shot here. It's a free kick out wide. It's now or never for Wanderers.
It's a free kick for Bolton right at the end of added time. 0-0. Referee is laying down the law in the penalty area to players from both sides. Wrexham's line is 10 yards inside their penalty area. Plenty of Bolton shirts peppered in there. It's floated towards the back post. It's not a good ball. It was headed away by Cleworth to the edge of the area. Dempsey had a chance to put it back in, but they've dallied too long, and the final whistle has gone. Cheers from 3,500 Wrexham fans in the away end. Well, it was a game that was light on attacking chances, wasn't it, Adrian Clark? But plenty of defensive quality, and Wrexham, well, to a man, they are clapping each other on the back, celebrating as if they've won the game, because for their first test against the promotion hopeful like Bolton Wanderers, they have come away with a precious point. They shut them out through the second half. They rode their luck at times in the first. Some big saves from Arthur Okonkwo, notably to deny Dion Charles what would have been a certain goal 10 minutes into the second half. But it's been a real battle, a proper League One battle at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. And on Talksport 2, your final score is Bolton 0, Wrexham 0.
Well, Ian Evatt there, not very happy with the officials. It's fair to say his side never really got going, though. You wouldn't say they certainly deserve victory today. And as you just pointed out, Cameron, it is clear Wrexham, they're happier. They've come away from home. They've got themselves what could be a valuable point. Adrian Clark, a fair result in your eyes?
Yeah, I think so. I think Wrexham earned their point here today. Good defensive resilience, excellent organisation from Phil Parkinson, back on his old stomping ground. And yeah, look, I would like to have seen a bit more ambition from Wrexham. We saw a touch more of it in the second half, but they came here to frustrate Bolton, and they succeeded in it just twice, really. Okonkwo had to make brilliant game-changing saves. Other than that, they were relatively comfortable. I think Bolton were just a bit one-paced, one-dimensional, same shape, same style of play. Nothing really changed. They were looking to just wear down Wrexham, but they didn't do enough to pull Wrexham defenders out of position, and that's why it ended goalless.
Who knows where the point could take both sides by the end of it. Bolton clearly the more unhappy, but as you say, on today's evidence, it wasn't clear that they deserved all 3 points, nor for Wrexham either, who probably provided even less, but they came away from home and did a job on Bolton. That is exactly what they wanted to do. It means that Wrexham are 8th as they applaud their travelling support. Bolton 9th, both teams on 4 points. Cameron Pope and Adrian Clark, thank you very much.